Hey, Brenda, good evening. Yeah, there's a few ships today, Brenda. I got let's see how many I get. I think I only got two for right now. No, I got three ships, but there's a bunch of ships more coming. So we'll see how that goes and who joins me and how capable they are of handling the channel while I'm gone. Little at a time, little at a time. So how are you doing? How's your little angel doing? Good, I hope. Boone's being Boone. But I will say he seems to have calmed down a little, just a little bit. So he's headed in the right direction. Hey, Johnny's here. Hello, Johnny. How's it going? And Captain Joe.
Ding dong.
It's Joe and Johnny show.
I know.
Hey, what's up?
I was just talking to Joe on the phone.
Hey, Johnny. I haven't seen you in a long time.
I'm telling you, I ain't heard from you. Joe,
I don't think anybody believes that, Johnny.
look at Joe looking all skinny on.
Yeah, he's lost weight.
I'm telling you,
232 pounds or small.
that's good.
Well, I'm telling you. I don't remember the last time I was 232 pounds.
Shit, he
You
gonna be
know,
he gonna be smaller than me.
I think I was married back then, you know what I mean?
While I eat these Zapp's potato chips, I mean,
Had them crottators,
huh?
Taters.
Asian crottators.
Yep.
Now, I know I saved that for you, John. I gotta find it. Maybe I put it somewhere else.
You can go to that website in Southeast and pull that logo.
Yeah, I can find it. But if I don't have to remake it, you know what I mean.
Brenda says hi to both Joe and Johnny.
Brenda, hey Brenda.
Hey, Brenda, I don't see the chat in here. I got to do something different.
We pull up Photoshop. Maybe I didn't go far enough that it's still there.
Let me see something. I got to go to. I got to pull up. I'm gonna pull up on my phone because I can't see the chat. Oh, there it is.
Photoshop. Maybe I didn't go far enough.
Brenda,
Not there. I'm gonna have to dig it up.
got loose today because my husband trusts him more than me. What's she talking about? The dog got loose? Man, why's this stupid term restrictions on? What is this?
Yeah, Brenda got that new dog, and so she got loose today because my husband trusts her more than me.
I don't trust any animals. I've had one for that long. I don't trust them going out without a leash because I can't chase them anymore.
No, I can't either.
Oh shit. The guy pulled up. It's raining over here now.
Yeah. Okay, I don't have it in Photoshop
Oh
right there,
shit.
so already past that. Would you shake it up first?
No, but it. Oh, Joe, let me show you my latest. Did I show you these? Hold up. Look, two pick holders for your truck or your car.
Yeah,
They're pretty neat.
you just shake them and they come out.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
These are pretty neat. I love. Hey, sometimes you need a toothpick and you leave a restaurant or something. I keep them in my car. This one got the
Good
little tooth
idea.
on it. Got the little tooth on it. Look.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, they print pretty quick too.
Okay, let's go into art. None of that, none of that. Hey, I'm going to remake it. Just give me a minute. As soon as I remake it, I'm gonna find it.
Paul, you've been flying today?
Yeah, I got 3 ships today.
That's good. The guy's cutting grass in the rain now.
That lot next door.
Across the street, the houses. Miss Catherine, they just pulled up from Houston, and I saw the guy pull up. I tell
I'm,
you what, I like the little Neos. They
that
can talk.
Neo is Joe does too.
I mean,
Paul,
look,
don't make
I
me
had
leave, Paul.
I had the best, I had the best time with my grandkids just flying it. We sitting on the steps, got some great little selfies.
Yeah. Here comes Dominic.
Randy, Dominic,
Morning. Oh,
hey
good
Dominic,
evening.
Dominic,
Here we go. There, finally.
Dominic, can
Good
you get
evening.
to Australia?
No, that looks lovely though.
Huh?
Well, that's good.
That looks delicious.
It is delicious.
I wish.
New Orleans style.
Yep.
Yeah.
We was in Lafayette style.
I like my food spicy.
Yeah, that got a kick to it.
Yeah, but hey, Joe, look what they manufactured at.
Yeah, Pennsylvania. I know.
Yeah,
Yeah, but they got the recipe. That's the thing. One of them Cajun fellas send them one of them recipes.
Hi, Brenda. Dusty.
Man, we stopped at a
How'd I
little.
send it? I sent it to you on Messenger, didn't I?
Yeah. We stopped at a
Okay,
little
I'll get it.
stand, Joe, yesterday in Alabama. Man, got some plums, those green looking plums with the red.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, they are delicious. We got some peaches too.
So when we meet up tomorrow, bring me a plum and bring me those 2 stickers.
All right.
Well, Joe, do you feed plums to the dogs or no?
No.
Not on those little $6 for a little bucket, he ain't. Not my plums anyway.
No, plums aren't good for them.
Oh, really?
No.
You must be plum crazy.
Hey Johnny, that guy, you might have heard it. I might have said it this morning. That guy that bought the Avadas from me.
Yeah.
He thanked me again for such a good deal. He said he lost one in a pond.
Oh, yeah, you said that.
I told him, I said, you find you an open field. Do not fly over water yet.
Was
You
he
know.
flying? Was he trying like acro or something? Or he just,
I bet you he was.
man, I'll tell you what, I put the little Neo up out there on the boat and it was filming them off the rocks the next day because I had done it with the Air 3, but Air 3S. But man, I tell you what, it was blowing all around. I had to let my son-in-law catch it on the front of the boat
Hello, Justin.
because it was moving.
Yeah, he told him. I heard that.
Good
Who was
evening,
that?
Justin.
What's up?
Oh, Justin's here.
Yep.
Yeah,
Did he hear what we said about him?
yeah. That's why he's here.
Oh,
What you want, white letters or you want both?
man, Amazon delivering in the rain. No, I think we had it looked best with the green letters,
The
didn't it?
green, we had green and gold. Which one you want?
Yeah, both.
Okay, I sent it to you on the phone.
Oh, that's Walmart making a delivery. I seen somebody ring the doorbell.
Yeah, I'm waiting for my V-Copter Mini to come in today.
Yeah, mine too. I'm flying mine. It flies pretty good.
Shoot, I flew yours while you were gone. What are you talking about?
You know, Marcus was gonna get it, but then they not sending it to him no more.
Really?
That's what he said.
When he canceled the order though?
No, they had reached out to him and
Ask him to take one, right?
asked him to do a review, and he had to sign some stuff and do a because the app they were going to send you, it goes specific to your phone, but then the guy just kind of ghosted them, and then finally they told him that I guess they sent out enough or whatever, but it's kind of crazy, because then he didn't order one,
Yeah.
And who was that?
Marcus.
Marcus Crawford. I don't.
Quadcopter.
Yeah, I know who that is. They did because they probably sent him out to a lot bigger influencers. They were
Well,
probably picking between people, and then
I don't know, but
because there's
he gets more views than some of the people that got it, I can tell you that, as far as views, especially what he does with the little budget type drones, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
well, there's some like big tech channels that don't even mainly do drones that randomly do drone.
Reviews.
Yeah, reviews.
Well, you know what though, Justin? They might do a review, but they don't fly.
No. That's why I said they're not regular drone
I mean, I'm not
enthusiasts, I
saying
guess you
I'm
want to
not
say.
saying because Joe and I mean, there's people, I mean, you fly at your own pace or fly when you got time, I understand that, but if you review something and never use it again, well, shit, ain't no sense reviewing it.
Right.
Exactly. Because I like when people do reviews and then they do like a 6-month review. You know, anywhere between a 6-month to a 1-year review.
Right,
Let
yeah.
you
Tell
know
you
how
how
it
it was. I
lasted.
mean, some of them guys that do it, they may not even got an update on that crap. You know what I mean?
Hmm. There's a lot of channels that don't do that, but every once in a while, you'll run across a channel that might be reviewing shit you like that they'll do an update.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's like, you know, I mean, I got them stupid little toy drones that they sent me. I did a little quick review, and bottom line is, I delete the app off my phone. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing is, like, it's one thing for like a
I got
$20
access to
item,
stuff.
but if you're spending like a couple $1,000s on a drone or something like that, it'd be nice to have a follow-up video.
Mm. Definitely.
Especially it's something that you're going to invest a good chunk of money in.
Oh, yeah.
Because honestly, if I buy a $20 drone off of Temu and do a review on it, great. But I honestly wouldn't expect that thing to last more than a couple months. You know, and that was if I was flying it regularly, you know, at least 3 or 4 times a week. Oh, what you doing today, Jeff?
I was going to fly till I got out there and it was 22-mile-an-hour winds on the surface. And 50 feet, it was at 27. And every flag I saw was doing this. So I said, oh, hell no. You know,
What's up, Brenda, Dusty?
wasn't worth it. Was not worth it. You know what I mean?
Now, I would say out of everything, wind was the thing when I first started flying. Wind always made me the most nervous.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
even when I had like the Mini 2 in the Air 2 when I first got it, I was afraid to put it up with the slightest breeze because I just in my head it was going to take the fucking drone, right?
Mm.
But then once I started realizing what the drones could handle, what their limitations and all that were, you know, after a few months, and that didn't bother me no more. Especially the Mini 1, that one I was afraid to put up with the slightest bit of breeze because that thing struggled to fight the wind because it
Yeah.
just didn't have enough tilt in the when it would come back forward towards you.
Right.
It didn't cut through the wind very well. The Mini 2 was definitely an improvement on that.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, load some filament.
Yeah. Johnny's loading the filament.
The inside of my ear is itchier and shit. I don't know why.
Mm.
Found the perfect use for that printer today.
What?
He's making
Okay.
toothpick holders you can put in your pocket to just shake them and they come out.
Awesome.
That's making the most randomest shit. It's like we've done it. This is the one device that's going to save humanity.
I'm
Toothpick.
telling
You tired of stabbing yourself in the thigh with your toothpicks? That's turn on one of those infomercials.
you. Infomercial. What are you talking about? Is that good?
Are you tired of feeling like you're getting a piercing down there? Well, no more. For $19.99, you can get 2. If you call now, you can get 4.
No, $19.99. And if you call right now, we'll give you 2.
Yeah.
But wait,
There's
pay
more.
for shipping and we'll add 2 more. You know?
Yeah, I love the ones where they were like, wait, there's more, and they just keep fucking adding more shit.
Yeah.
Remember the Ronco knives when they came out?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And he'd do the infomercials and he's like, and just wait. He goes, and you get 8 steak knives. And you're like, fuck yeah. And then he's like, no, wait now. Now you get a butcher's cleaver. And he would just keep adding more and more fucking knives. Next thing you know, it's like a 100-piece knife set. Dude, I bought my mom that set with the They were actually not bad knives.
With those Ronco knives.
Yeah, they weren't bad. They were.
Yeah, they weren't bad.
The one thing I did notice over the years, because I had a set for years and years, and I just recently threw out the last couple of them. The handles over time would start breaking. Well, that was the one failure point I had in all those knives, is the little rivets out of the handles would come out. Yeah, I bought my mom the set that had the like fancy like suitcase where you could travel with the knives and shit. It was really cheesy.
Uh,
Now, my
I
mom
bought one
bought
of
Now,
those. I bought one of those crazy, yeah. I bought one of those crazy, what you call it, Japanese knives. It's got the, got this
I heard
crazy shape.
Justin. I heard the next time he needs a toothpick and he's in his car, he's gonna be cussing
Look,
John
Hey,
Fly.
Valley.
Hey, I was trying to come up with an infomercial for you.
Look, don't pick your nose, pick your teeth.
Yeah, look, Dominic. That's a, he's got show Dominic.
Oh, Dominic, these Australian toothpicks. Oh, they got trying to. Yeah, they work good.
Can't see it. Back up a little. There you go.
oh, nice.
And these,
So
hey,
most-
these Australian toothpicks, they from Australia.
Okay, then. Yeah.
Or you can get the one with the little tooth on it, see?
Yeah. Awesome.
Or
Well,
if your initials are like an M, you can say it's yours.
You can even pick your down under.
Yeah, there you go.
What's up,
you can
pal?
pick down under your teeth.
I guess you could put Q-tips in them, but it probably wouldn't come out. Would it be good?
Yeah.
Just make the hole bigger.
Yeah, but it's pretty neat.
Yeah, but who carries? I could see carrying toothpicks around, but who the hell carries Q-tips around with them? Just
got a
randomly,
point.
like, hey, you want to clean your ears? Here you go.
Yeah, but listen to that,
Hey.
Justin. You can't get that sound nowhere but in Louisiana.
Hey, Johnny, you wouldn't know what the name of that font is, huh?
Which one?
For Southeastern.
The font? No, I don't. Where I found the official colors and all.
Yeah, I'm going through. I might have to look it up. Probably, you probably can't find it. It's got that crazy freaking L.
Look at that, that's pretty neat. I don't know. I don't know what the font.
Al said hi to everybody.
Joe, look what we passed up yesterday coming home. I don't know where they were going. The big bus.
Tigers. That's the girls?
I don't know where I don't know who would have been going anywhere yesterday. They were coming
Yeah,
down.
the boys
I-60.
wouldn't have been going anywhere. They're playing that. They play at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, they got an easy route to Omaha. They had that about the
Had
easiest
two
route.
grand slams yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Let's see if I can do it the right way. I'll go
They sent
on.
they sent a team down here from West Virginia. They can't even breathe.
You got a point.
I mean, they're like probably like fish out of water.
Yeah. Come down here in this heat and this humidity, and they say, "What the hell is this?"
Yep.
That is kind of like what you call it.
Matt had I had white in the printer. He wanted to print something, so I had to change the color to red. Yeah, look, Joe, Jeremy sent this too.
Yeah, I know. I saw all of those. That's what you call it.
No, he ain't sent all. This is just one.
No, that's what I said. I saw all the stuff you had.
Oh, Captain Ray had, yeah. I'll bring you that one though.
I just need the sticker.
Did Brenda finally get your package?
Yeah,
Oh,
it
that's
took
great.
like 4 weeks.
Yeah.
That's
Ooh,
ridiculous.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, there was a fuck up at the post office.
Lightning detected 1.8 miles from your location.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
wait till my phone says that. I'll have every dog underneath me.
Mm.
They'll be sound asleep. And as soon as it comes on and says that, they go boom on the right on the
Sit down, stop raining, the sun come back out.
you see there's a different font on their regular font. Just where it says Southeastern Louisiana University, it's just a regular font. The ones they use for softball is a completely different one.
Where do you get the one? You made the one for softball, I thought.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think I looked at them and found one that was similar.
Oh,
Like I said, I don't know why I don't have this original. I have no idea.
you could use the same font that you used for that one. I don't know what it was.
Me either. I have an idea.
Oh, you
Let me-
gave him the wrong
let me-
address. Oh, yeah, that's right. You said two of the
Alright.
numbers were
Yeah,
inverted.
yeah, but they had the number. They had the what you call it. They had her phone number and everything way ahead of time. They could have contacted her.
Well, if they deliver mail to her, the hell they know who the hell she is.
Yeah. She's been there 30-something years. That's the other thing.
Yeah, but it was like she said that one time. I think she said before that she has like a different mail carrier all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so some of the mail routes don't always have the same person. Guess it
Yeah, I
probably
bet
depends
you-
on.
I bet you that mailman don't have a too big holder in his mail truck.
Shit, the mail lady we used to have, oh my God, she was horrible.
Dominic's flying.
Might be.
Yeah,
They're
two
using the
different
bathroom.
two different times, Johnny. She put everybody's mail one mailbox behind.
Oh Lord, that's the Newman way.
Okay. I'm gonna have to find the font because I don't have the font. Like they won't tell me what the font is. And I cannot believe I do not have I make folders for every freaking thing. I don't have a folder that says Johnny's logos. That's what I would have put on it. I got one that says Paul Murray Bingo.
There's some sites that you can do font identifier, Joe.
Really?
I've never used them, but yeah, apparently you can upload pictures to them and it will try to match the font, tell you what it is.
Huh.
One of them's in Adobe. Find fonts
Really?
from images. Adobe's got something about that too on their help center page. Maybe there's something built into Adobe allows you to look for it.
Something I probably got to download.
No, these ones are just online. You just click on them, upload the image, and then it will tell you.
I even got the freaking fonts for New Orleans tiles. You know,
Joe,
it's like,
look.
come on.
Chat GPT.
I know.
I made
It
it.
came out nice.
Yeah, I think I want to change some colors on them, though. They had little puppy paws where the drones are, so I had to change it. I don't know how the hell I had that. I wonder if I could change the drone, like tell it to do a specific drone.
I get the wrong mail every month or so.
Okay.
Probably
That's
get
it.
kicked
Just
out
fine.
of chat GPT.
Yeah, one day, Brenda, I opened my front door up about a year ago, and there was like 10 Temu packages. I mean, massive packages just stacked up in front of my door. I was like, what the hell? Turned out they delivered to the same address, just not the right street. And luckily, it was only one street over, so I was me and the kids grabbed it all up and walked it over there. I knocked on the door, and the lady came to the door. Same lady, I got her kids' pictures in the mail. I thought it was my kids' pictures. I didn't even look at the name on it, and I opened it up. I said, "Who the hell's kid is this?" And I looked on the address. I was like, "Oh shit, same lady."
Okay, number one, I did not use their font. I used a different font. So let's go to the recent fonts. I bet you it's one of those.
Lots of people are creating images right now, so this might take a bit. We'll notify you when images are ready.
Yeah, if you pay, I think you get priority.
Type.
I
That's
ain't
like-
paying for shit.
No, I know it's $20 a month, dude. They don't.
How much is it?
They only have two plans. It's either $20 a month or $200 a month if you want an enterprise account. That's it. It's the
Oh,
only
yeah.
two plan options. I don't know
$20.
why they don't have like a $5 or $10 a
Yeah,
month.
but I tell you what, I
Right.
know people who write emails with it and do. I mean, it's if you use it enough. I mean, if we're just messing around with stupid little pictures, you know.
Yeah, like to me, even if I was just messing around with it 3 or 4 times a week, it to me is not worth $20 a month.
No,
I mean, that's what?
$240 a year.
Yeah, $240 a year. Fuck that, that's too much. That's what I said. They need to have like a $5 or $10.
I mean, that's like StreamYard.
Tier.
I was paying $88 a year for StreamYard because I got it on Black Friday that time, and then they want to go to $45 a month. Now who's gonna pay? I ain't paying no $45 a month. I just use the free version now.
That's what I said. They need to do like a $5 a month where you get like up to like 30 requests or something, you know?
That's like my XM radio ended on my Santa Cruz, and they sent me a thing for $5 a month, which that's not bad. I'll give them $5 a month, but then they want to go to $24.95 from $5, so I'll just cancel at the 12 month, you know.
Hmm.
And then they'll want you back for another $5. So
I keep getting free shit from them. Like, so when we bought our car, it came with a 6-month subscription. And I called them up. I didn't realize it until I started going through the car paperwork like a month later. And I'm looking, I was like, we don't have XM. So I called up XM. They're like, yeah, you were supposed to get a free 6 months complimentary. So they ended up giving me that and an additional another 3 months on top of that.
yeah, I had a year, but they and what they did last week, they turned it back on without me, you know, like paying. I guess it was free, and then coming back from a vacation, it went off while I was driving. Like I was planning going up there, but coming back, it wouldn't come on. So they cut it off, I guess.
And what's really cool too is like, so if they ping your car and they can't get it to do it, she sent me a text message through my phone, and I was able to click on the link, and then it pinged right to my car and activated it.
Here you go, Johnny. Volleyball like that?
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, and I'll put one in yellow and one in green.
What are you printing that out for? What are you making a light?
He's gonna start selling shirts outside the stadium bootleg.
No, I'm not selling them.
fine.
And bootleg t-shirts.
I'd be like getting arrested.
Yeah,
You reached your image creation limit. Oh shit! I gotta wait till
Yeah.
11
Yeah, you
o'clock.
only get what, 4 or 5, I think, a day. I think
Now,
it's 5.
now I gotta
I
wait
think it's
till
5, and then you got to go wait 24 hours.
Yeah, I gotta wait till 11 o'clock in the freaking morning.
Yeah.
What time is it there, Dominic?
It's 7:30 a.m. Monday.
Oh
You
shit!
only got
If
3.5
you only gotta
hours.
wait 3 hours, I'm gonna send it to you.
Yeah.
Now they put mountains in this son bitch. What the hell?
Yeah, see, look, these are the only plan options they have. One's free, obviously, the free one. You get
Yeah.
the $20 one and then the $200. I think this is like an
Yeah.
enterprise.
Well, Justin, order that $200 and send me your password.
Yeah, we'll all share it.
Yeah, free to 20 though. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, you would think they would have at least a $10 plan or something,
Yeah.
Uh-oh,
you know?
somebody's here. It's Don.
Now, David,
Oh, it's
David.
David.
Apparently the $200 one is a enterprise level. Like if you had like 10 or 20 work computers in your office and you wanted to have it access to all of them.
So we all chuck, we get 20 people chucking $10 a month.
I don't think it says on there what many devices it's to, though.
Yeah.
Because if that was only one device, oh, fuck that.
What's that
Hmm.
for?
Hi, Mark.
Chat GPT, let me see.
Chat GPT Plus Enterprise or whatever they call it.
It's multiple devices. It's per account.
Ding dong.
Mark White.
Mark White. It's Acarasho. Lon Denard. Lon is in the house. Come on in, Lon.
Yeah.
We
Hi,
won't say
everybody in the chat.
we won't say anything bad about Lon.
Oh, David.
Hi, David.
Hi, everybody on the panel.
It's David's eye. Oh no, it's Mark's eye.
That's my eye.
Yeah.
I've been called Mark. I've been called Donald. What are you doing, Johnny? Get a Specsaver. Sort your eyesight out.
This Coke Zero is getting to me. It's strong, I guess.
As long as you don't call me Justin, I'll be fine. That's where I draw the line.
That's
Ta-da.
that's David's personal hero is Justin.
Of course he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything on here about how many devices.
It's
That's
per
200.
account.
Yeah, if that's 200 a month per account. Fuck.
That parrot have a needle?
That's a screwdriver.
Oh,
It's one of them little glasses screwdrivers.
he's got BMW eyes. His eyes look like the BMW logo.
Yeah, he's gone to the
What?
other side of the room. Oh, no, he's back. He's a lot more redder now as he's aging.
So am I.
Okay, done.
Lon says you can say whatever y'all want. I always consider the source.
I tell you what, it's weird. Every time someone talks about him, he knows.
The
He's
bird?
he's literally up on top of the perch behind me here, looking straight down at the computer.
So
All right, Rio.
I wonder if he wants a chip. Does he want a Zap potato chip?
Did you find that font, Joe?
I found one close enough.
Let me see.
Yeah, see if that looks good. I might have to take some of the white around it off. I might have too much white.
Which one?
Either one. The yellow looks like it might be too much. I think I put it on 7 last time. Might be on 10 this time.
It looks
Yeah,
like
I
Yeah,
always,
probably fine.
you misspelled volleyball, but that's all
No, I didn't.
right.
yeah, Lon, I always consider the
You know why I
sword
know I
too.
didn't? I
Wow.
asked Alexa. I asked Alexa because I was making sure.
No, it looks good. I think. See on that, the green looks pretty. Looks better than the gold. I think.
Yeah, I think that'll be good. Yeah, it's set at 10 instead of 7, but it's okay.
What's that?
The white, the outline. I think I set it at 7 last time.
Well, it's got to be transparent anyway. I'm
Yeah,
gonna make
no, it's gonna be transparent, but I mean the white around the yellow. I had it at 7, I think, last time. I got it at 10 right now.
I got you.
I'll do another one at 7 so you can make a decision.
All right.
Because it gives you a little more space in between them.
You know what they need to add to that logo? They need to put Hammond right there in the center where the Hammond would be.
You better come look. Don't do that. Don't move. Okay. Say you're sorry. Hi, guys. I want to get on. He's coming the good one.
Man. I need to charge all my batteries. Matter of fact, I gotta go plug the Air 3S in.
Yeah, the green does look better.
I'm gonna go catch another ship, guys. Be right back.
You do that. We've got it.
Said he gotta go take a ship.
He said, yeah, he's taking shit.
You gotta take a ship. I took my ship this morning. Oh shit. I gotta plug this control in if I'm gonna do any flying.
Yeah.
Yeah, all your shit's dead, huh?
You what?
Did all your stuff's dead? He's
What's
out there
that?
flying. Said you're out there flying like TJ, all your batteries are dead.
Oh no, you ain't gotta worry about that. TJ will use everybody's charger in the world. That first little charger I brought to that South Florida drone, TJ he done drained every ounce of power they had out in that Sunday.
He was the only one using it. Huh?
He was. I couldn't even play the freaking radio or play the.
Hey, David, I took those words, put it all on what you call it, in Word, went through and made it a Louisiana style song and
Yeah.
changed a lot of the words in there to Louisiana type things. Like instead of being chased around the yard with like a wild kangaroo, I got on there, let's see. It says, then it chased him around the yard like a Cajun rougarou.
The Rougarou.
The rougarou.
Yeah, the Rougarou. Do they know who
That's
the
all I got.
Rougarou is? Who's the
And
Rougarou?
instead of New Orleans Dream, I put Louisiana Dream. Dominic said, "What the hell?" You know? No, he did a song this morning and put it out there about me and with the drone crashing, and he chased me around the yard and all of this stuff.
Whoa, whoa,
So
whoa,
it's
whoa. Correction.
what?
I did a song about you and the drone. The fact that AI picked up about it attacking you is your problemo. That's got nothing to do with me.
He said he didn't put anything in there about it.
I just put Captain Joe, aka USA Drone Flyer, make a song about him flying his Avata drone. And it
Shit.
came
That's all
up
you
and
put
then-
down?
Yeah, and then it came back with about it going rogue.
Yeah, that's funny.
There you
Did
go,
it know
Johnny.
something?
Johnny,
Yeah.
you said you want to see the bird with a chip?
Oh yeah, he does. That's a French fry. That's not a chip.
Yeah,
That's
it's
a
a freedom
chip.
fry.
It's a chip. French fries are finny skinny things.
Next thing you're gonna tell me to make tea, you got to do it in the kettle.
They're not French fries, Johnny. They're freedom fries.
That's a freaking McDonald's
Oh.
freaking French fry.
No. It's too small.
Speaking of
What
that,
you- What you call a chip, Johnny, we call a crisp.
This is a chip.
No, that's a crisp.
No, this is a potato chip.
No,
No,
it's a
potato crisp.
right. Why do you have to? Why do you have to actually acknowledge what it is? It's a potato. Why?
Look,
But you just
look.
call it crisp.
It says potato chips.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter what it says on the packaging. You don't have to put potato in there. Everyone knows it's made out of potato.
And it's not
Well,
a chip.
it would matter if somebody said lemons.
It's not a chip, it's a slice.
Exactly.
Dominic, tell them what this is.
It's a crisp.
hey,
You know what I'm gonna say?
Go on,
Chips.
Dominic.
He's
Hey,
not
chips.
part of this.
hey,
It's a chip. Thank you, Dominic. I'll
Joe,
send you some stickers now.
Joe, look at this. So it looks like hell needs some freedom.
That looks like that eagle I was looking at. I kept getting closer to the way he turned and looked at me too. He's like, "Bitch, come closer, I dare you." And then he diverted me. I was watching him, and his partner came in right over the drone. Tell me that wasn't a plan.
What the hell? It'd have been better if I'd have saved the freaking pictures before I tried to order. Now I gotta go back. Let's
Don't
see.
worry, Mark. If I win the Euro Millions on Tuesday, you know, the whole 235 million of it, I'm going to pay for cooking lessons for Joe and Justin.
Cooking lessons?
Yeah. And teach them how to make a decent cup of tea.
You get the bag and put it in some hot water in a cup.
In the microwave.
No, no.
Pack it in.
Me and Joe are gonna try to air fry some tea later.
You put the bag in an empty cup and pour boiling water on it.
And allow the tea to infuse as you're tipping the water onto it. And then you add your milk to taste.
After you've taken the tea bag back out.
I always leave the tea bag in until, just in case I put too much milk in, I can make it a bit stronger.
Oh my god, dude. That
Oh.
could go so many ways over here.
Listen, if you want to keep talking about tea bagging, it's your problem. We're keeping things out of the gutter.
So you just gotta
Oh,
dip your tea
put
bag
tea
till the cream
in
comes
the
down your
teapot.
lip.
Pour boiling water.
Yeah, no one's mentioned anything about cream or anything rising.
All right, let's see.
But you know what? If you're going to live in a third world country that can't afford kettles or hasn't got kettles, then you know you're going to have to make do with a microwave. It's just the way it is.
Did Paul go flying?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He did. He's going to fly a ship.
What is all that Pepsi crap down there?
Oh, that's his marine radio.
No,
Oh
the-
no, no, all the
no.
Pepsi, that's cases of Pepsi.
That's
Who
his
drank
stash.
That's
Who the
his
hell
dad,
drank-
Pepsi.
Who
Yeah.
the hell
That's
drinks
his Pepsi stash.
Who drinks Pepsi? Oh,
Well,
Oh,
obviously, Paul.
Paul,
That's all
no,
he
no,
drinks. He
those
doesn't
are,
drink water or nothing else. just
dude, those
Pepsi.
are like those big, what, like 32 packs or 36
Yeah.
packs from Sam's Club.
36 packs.
Yeah.
it's all
from-
he drinks. He doesn't drink tea or coffee. He just drinks Pepsi.
And
Yeah,
he
you
probably
don't-
got another pack in his refrigerator.
Not only that, it's Diet Pepsi at that.
Well, that's a good bit. That's the only good bit.
That's the only
Not
thing he
really.
does pretty good. It's not really bad. It's not good
No,
either, though.
because Diet Coke is actually worse for you than regular soda because
Yeah.
of the aspartame shit they put in it.
Mhm.
No, they don't put aspartame in Diet Pepsi. There's no sweetener.
It's
Aspartame.
Oh,
phenylalanine.
all right. So,
And,
hey, David, what do you call a Coke? Is it a soda or is it a Coke?
It's
A
a
pop.
Coke.
Pop.
Pop. Fizzy pop.
No,
Fizzy
there ain't no,
pop.
there ain't no such thing as pop.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, there is.
Technically,
Carbonated water.
I would have to say the technical term would be soda pop because it was soda and it popped when you opened it.
Yeah, but you see, this is the thing. We'd like to simplify things. We don't need to know that it was a soda. We know it's a soda. We just call
Okay.
it pop, right?
Not
We
because
know we know the chips. We don't have to call them potato chips, right?
So-
'Cause all
so
chips
there
are potato.
Yeah,
You
but
guys aren't the only ones that
soda is
call it.
fizzy water. That's all. Soda water.
I mean, you even have to call it a sidewalk just in case anyone thinks, oh, it's not at the side.
Yeah, but you guys aren't the only ones that use the word pop, though. Like that's actually a very popular term in parts of the
Of course it
country,
is
yeah.
because it's English.
Well, it tends to be in the more dumber areas, but yeah.
Joe, we got to fly them down just for Louisiana, just teach them how to talk.
It's
What'd you
called
say?
pop. You get you said.
In fact, I think the original
Thank
word
you,
for it
Gitchy.
was cordial.
Cordial is
Oh, Gitchy's saying it's called pop. Okay. Booterol.
leave Gitchy alone.
Well, the AI has spoken, Joe, so you have to listen now.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not listening to that one. It's a corrupt file.
Corrupt file.
Yeah.
AI is not a file.
That's a corrupt file because it went to the UK once.
Her language model's all fucked up.
Hey, Gitchy,
Hey, Gitchy.
Yeah, I'll say, hey, get you, no rose for you.
Get you, yama, yama. Oh. Joe, the sun done come back out now, shit. We could go to Lighthouse now.
I'm telling you.
I mean, it's a good afternoon to crash.
Yeah.
Look, you both just have to leave and leave your chairs there, and then it'll be like
Yeah, here you
No
go.
different than Paul.
Yeah, we
You've
just
gotta-
changed to the
we've
empty.
got to be able
seat.
to see Johnny. We've got to be able to see the chair.
I'm sitting on
Shoot,
the
it's only 6-mile-an-hour winds now. KP index is 5.
Oh, the KP.
That's gone up again.
Yeah, it's gonna go up to 567.
I mean, really, the KP index should be pretty much the same all around the world. And yep, it's 5 here as well.
We get a different KP
And
index.
you're not gonna believe it. It's 5 here as well.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
that's because it's the sun that creates it, and we're all the same distance from the sun near us, damn it.
No, that's
I
not
don't know. I think the KP index is all because you're nuts.
Now, the KP index is due to the solar flares and the electromagnetic
No.
radiation.
KP
Sometimes, sometimes when the Earth shifts on its axis, we can be closer to the sun than you are, but not by too much.
But the KP index is still down to you guys being nuts.
Yeah,
Now I got a big question here. Does Paul know about the KP index?
Does Paul
Or
care
does he
about
even
the
care
KP
about it?
index?
I'm about
But
to
just-
say,
That's what I was just gonna say, Justin.
That's what I was
Yeah.
that's what you didn't let me finish, huh?
I guarantee you're gonna say, have you looked at the KP index? He's gonna be like, KP what?
What? I don't know what it is.
that's kitchen. That's KP. That's kitchen duty.
Get your
KP
butt.
nuts.
When
What
he
is
comes
that?
back, I'm gonna ask him.
I don't know whether you can see it because of my green
See,
screen,
that's
but
that's not really peanuts. That's just nuts.
They're salted peanuts.
they're roasted salted peanuts.
Wait a minute. No, that's a crisp.
It's a freaking nut.
KP do crisps.
They do.
All right. So why do they say fish and chips?
It didn't.
They don't say fish and crips.
Exactly.
No, it's not
No,
Chris,
it's
it's Chris.
Hot chips.
Johnny,
We have an extra word in there. We have the word hot chips
He said
to
fish and
distinguish
crips.
them between chips and chips.
but
crip.
Johnny, right? We don't go to the chippy and go, can we have some fish and crisps, please? We say fish and chips, right? And they're what you guys call freedom fries. Over here, we call
Okay.
them chips.
So that's called a chip that's in the bird's hand, huh? A bird.
Yes.
That's a French fry.
That's a French fry.
It's a fucking steak chip.
Yeah, steak.
It's
but
not
that's-
even a
that's
steak fry.
distinct-
Y'all got 10
That's
steaks.
distinct from wedges as well.
It unfortunately the camera angle doesn't do it justice.
That's
But
a-
it was,
a
that
steak-
chip
that's
is
a-
bigger than you think.
That's a steak
Considering
chip on
that
a budget.
Considering that picture was taken just after we got him, and he was only 2 months old. Yeah. Now you see the size of that chip.
That
Very
French fry.
small.
About half-inch square.
Rio, sort them out.
What's up, Randy? Mad props.
Hey, Randy.
Hey, Randy.
Hello, Randy.
Oh, hey Joe, I redid it. Look, it's got the swamp scene in it now.
What's up, Randy?
That's even better.
You spelled coffee wrong.
No, I didn't.
You know, he double checked that too. He's like,
I did.
We do it to Joe all the time. In fact, last time we got into Joe's head so much he even complained.
Look,
The
they
whole
put the dog. They put the freaking dog back in there though.
No, last
And you
time
get
we
the dog
got,
out of it.
You spelled Sunday wrong.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, it is. It should be Sundae.
oh, jeez.
That's a chocolate sundae,
Exactly.
and that ain't spelled right either. Oh yeah, yeah, but they took out Sunday mornings. God darn it. I hate this stupid chat GPT. I could draw this shit faster than that.
I don't know. For some reason, we get a lot of people down here pretending to be cops too, get you. I don't know what the deal with that is. Maybe we're just better at catching those people so we get more of them on camera. I swear every police impersonator has been from fucking Florida.
Actually,
Jesus.
Gitchy, the reason is they are the penis of America, so they all act like pricks. Hence why they're all caught. All right, Justin.
Well, not to mention, like I said, I'm really curious to see what our growth
Okay.
was when they
I'm
redo
hopping
the
off.
census
I'm
again.
hopping off. I'm gonna be listening. I gotta go print some t-shirts, so don't say nothing bad
Later.
about.
Hop, hop.
I'm listening.
I ain't gonna say nothing. I can't speak for Joe though.
Hopping off. I'm gonna be listening. I gotta go print some. Oh,
Just excuse Johnny, he's new at this.
I'm listening. First time I ever streamed.
Yeah, Paul said that last night too when he went to the bathroom. First time I ever streamed.
Hey, Johnny.
And if Paul has a problem with the drone, I'm gonna say, well, did you check the KP index?
I got $5 that says he says KP what? Exact words. KP what?
Yeah.
And he's gonna say
And
that.
then I'll
I
double or
think he's
nothing
going to
that.
say, what the hell's KP?
No, he'll say KP what? Or he'll say what? It's either I'll give you both, either just a what or whatever, right? Or KP what? And then you'll tell him what it is and go, no.
Oh,
Double or
no.
nothing, he says,
He'll
no.
say, he'll go, and how do you check that? And
Hey,
then you're
Mike
gonna
say that
go,
too.
right? And that's when all the rest of us are fucking leaving the panel, leaving you to explain it.
No, I'm getting off too. What are you talking about? I'll beat y'all off.
It's the middle box at the
Hey,
bottom of
Jody.
on UAV forecast.
We'll all just go to our own breakout room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to ban him on my phone real quick too.
He'll be ringing you.
It's easy.
Joe's phone's not working.
It's the middle box at the bottom of the page on UAV forecast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where's
I
that?
always.
Where's that?
Yeah. How do you sign into that?
No, Randy, I do look at it.
Except for the fact that Paul only ever uses UVA forecast on his computer, I think.
Yeah, but rain is more important.
Oh yeah,
I
get in on
glance
that.
at it, but I'd fly in 5.
Oh yeah, getting an
Yeah.
app on his phone, Mark. You know how that is.
Yeah, that'll take a whole stream to work out.
And Paul says he doesn't have many streams.
That's
Anyway,
right.
oh, Neto.
It's as regular as anything, 2 a day, every day.
Okay, Randy said KPN text doesn't affect the new drones, not at all.
It affects anything that
Fucking
would
5.
with electronics.
No, it does. It does affect it, yes, but it will have the newer the equipment, the less wear and tear on it.
Well, do those drones have any kind of shielding built into them?
The later models do have a little bit more.
You see, the trouble is, if they shielded it from the KP radiation, it would also be shielded from the GPS signal.
Yeah. So you've got to balance, because the older ones used to have problems with cell towers. Now they don't. 'Cause I had problems with Mini 1, Mini 2. The Mavic 3 does it like a tree. So it somehow balances it out, because I've been up when the KP was 5 in the Mavic 3 and had no problem.
Yeah,
Didn't
because
even
I know
notice.
the only drone I ever heard that had shielding, and this was coming from Jim, he said that he had the Inspire, the first one, but whenever he'd do the electrical line inspections and he'd get close to them, it would start going crazy. So he ended up getting that Matrice, which apparently had shielding built into it for that. And he said it never bothered it when he'd get close to him.
Mhm.
Excuse me.
I'm off time for work. Catch you guys when I can. We'll see you later. Get you. Be safe out there.
There, Gitchy.
Later, get you. You know, the only thing gets me mad about making these
Later,
songs on
Gitchy.
Suno, it don't give it to me
What?
long enough. I tell it what I want in link and it won't do it.
What?
I tell it I want a song about 3 minutes and 20 seconds long. It gives me one 2:30.
Is there a limit though?
No, because then it'll do another one in 5 minutes on me.
I didn't think you could tell it how much time you wanted it for.
I
Well,
told it I
apparently
want
you
a
can't.
song at least 3 minutes long one time, and nothing was close to it. I told it make me one no longer than 3 minutes and 30 seconds. It gave me one 5 minutes.
See, what they need to do is have presets that you can set in like a menu. You know, I want the songs to be a minimum 3 minutes and 1 second or whatever.
Yeah, it ought to be.
Put some basic parameters in, save that as that's what you want as your.
Well,
per
most
minute.
songs are 3 to 5 minutes long anyway.
They must be using Rick Wakeman as a reference.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
But for the flight I'm gonna do this, I need about 3 minutes and 30 seconds, 3 minutes and 20 seconds, because the last 20 seconds is gonna be all credits anyway. Because I'm gonna do about a 3 minute flight to fit this. I've got 304 for one.
Johnny's
Johnny back. Are you sure it's Johnny?
Rick Wakeman brought albums out where there was only one track on each side.
Johnny.
Yeah, he's back.
Hey, I'm printing t-shirts. See?
Nice.
Bailey, she gives this away after they graduate swim lessons. So,
That's cool.
no, it ain't. It's hot out in this garage.
Hold on, she's doing like gift bags for everybody when they.
She gives them a little free t-shirt when they finish their lesson.
Oh, she's a teacher. Okay.
Oh yeah, she's
I thought you were talking about one of your grandkids was going to swim lessons.
no.
Okay.
Bailey, my granddaughter teaches. She's got like shit. I don't know. She got about 120 kids this summer to teach.
Oh wow, yeah.
Start making t-shirts.
Well, like a lot of summer camps now, that's like a requirement for kids. They have to have a certified class saying that they learned how to swim.
Man, this
Like
shirt.
the 2 camps my kids went to over the years, they both required that they had swimming lessons.
Hell,
Because they did a lot of water sports out in the lakes, and
Well,
they
as
had a
Florida's
pool and all that.
sinking,
Florida's not sinking.
yeah, it is.
Yeah, I can swim straight.
Miami might be sinking, but
The whole of Florida's on the at-risk.
yeah, we'll be all right.
Yeah, some of it's actually under sea level, isn't it?
Yeah.
Down by Miami, it is. Yeah, there's because there's a lot of parts in Miami where they have fucking constant water pumps running to keep the water level down.
water
And
pumps.
Don't worry, Justin. The UK's the same.
what's that? What is it? What's that famous area of Miami? It's
There you go.
Malibu Beach.
Venice Beach.
It's in California.
Is it?
PJ
Is that
Island.
no, Little Havana.
Alcatraz.
So Little Havana, apparently that area of Miami is what like a lot farther above sea level. And apparently developers have been trying to go in there and push people out of there for the last few years, and there's a big old fight because it makes the property more desirable.
Yeah, it's not going to sink. Yeah.
And then I think in certain areas they've actually, when they've redone the roads, they've raised the ground level up, bringing in a bunch of dirt and stuff.
Is my cam on?
Yep.
It is.
Yep.
Mike was calling me. I think Captain Brave was calling me. Beep. Man, it's a little bitty ass t-shirt. I was never this little. Yeah, she got kids that's like between, yeah, she got 6 kids up, I think early as 3 months.
Wow.
Yeah, like my area is 167 feet above sea level. It's
167.
yeah, above sea level.
I'm 300 feet above sea level.
Well, London used to be higher than us, but because it's overpopulated and overbuilt, the land is sinking.
I'm 6 crisp above sea level.
No.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of parts of Louisiana where you guys are under sea level, aren't you? That's why they have to have those the seawalls
levees.
and all that. The levees, yeah.
New Orleans is below sea level.
I don't know. Joe's
Oh.
car park is.
So during Katrina, did your area get flooded, Johnny, at all, or?
No, we don't flood here like that. I mean, and New Orleans really only flooded because the levee broke, you know?
Right.
I mean, we got like maybe one subdivision that'll get water now and then, but it's pretty rare, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta have that water, like where Joe's at, not so much where he's at, but like the lakefront, I mean, that'll flood just depending on the wind, you know?
Yeah, Joe's area floods real bad.
We're 40 meters. I
And they
don't know
do
what that is.
nothing to fucking fix it.
Say what?
I said they don't do nothing to fix that where
See,
Joe's at.
you can't fix New Orleans.
I'm talking about
Yeah.
where Joe lives at though. He floods constantly there.
Yeah, to fix this place out here, you'd have to probably build a 10-foot levee. And there's no
Oh,
way they're gonna
clear
do it
that
on
ditch.
Mandeville Lakefront.
They could just clear that ditch out.
Yeah,
Oh
and
yeah,
plus,
where I'm at, the ditch next to me is a different thing.
Okay,
We're talking
so
about
we're
around
higher
Lake
than you,
Pontchartrain.
Randy.
yeah, see, every once in a while around here, like on the sides of the highways where there's ditches and stuff, you'll see the machine go along there. And it'll dig out a couple feet and clear it all out, make it all look all new again.
Mhm.
It's a big spinning like drum thing that goes down there. Just eats it all
Shit.
up.
Yep.
If you don't keep those properly maintained, you
What's
can
that,
have
Randy?
flooding issues. What's up, Donald?
Oh no.
You done?
Donna, what's up?
Don,
We are 16.4 feet above sea level.
Ooh,
Where Donald's at.
16.4 inches above ANL, whatever they
Above Anil, I
I
guess.
understand what ASL is.
Yeah, I'm afraid to ask Donald. Must have been talking to
Yeah.
Fisheye.
Yeah.
I get into your house, Randy?
Supposed to put above in front of it either because that's what the A stands for.
Mhm.
Oh shit, yeah, I misread that. I thought Donald put that in there. My bad.
three, four. Man.
How long does it take you to do each shirt?
I don't know, maybe like 3 minutes.
How many
It
of
takes
those you gotta
longer.
do?
It takes longer to get it centered, and you know what I mean? Like I press it.
Mm.
This is a hot press, so what I do is press it for 15 seconds, then cool it off, peel off the thing, and then repress it for another 15. But getting it straight, I don't just add up. I use a ruler and kind of make sure it looks good. Because some people just, I mean, you can eyeball it and you're pretty close, but you know, you don't want it all
But
crooked
it's
and shit.
also permanent,
Yeah.
so yeah.
So you just print. How long does it take to print the transfer then?
Well, I get the transfer from a girl that prints them from.
Ah.
It's a
Oh.
vinyl.
Oh, so you don't have
Yeah.
to do it yourself.
Yeah, I don't know. Let me see.
DTG.
How you flip that camera around?
You were trying to figure that out when he was at the
I know.
lakefront.
You go into Zoom, camera settings.
Yeah, see right here. Once it's pressed, all I do is peel it off,
Yeah. Bleed
and
it.
then I repress it, put it over here on the machine, and then repress it for another 15 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm gonna
How
pull
many
this
of
back.
how many of those shirts you doing?
I got about 25 to do. It's counting down.
Now, what do you think's the average cost per shirt is?
Believe it or not, she gets these shirts from Hobby Lobby for like $2.99,
Uh-huh.
and then the logo itself runs about 50 cents. So that's what it was.
And then Grandpa's time's free, right?
Well, yeah. That's.
She don't pay for that.
I mean, that's all the logos I got, though. I mean, I got like Rodney Bell.
Oh yeah,
Rome
you got a
Nation.
bunch. Bunch of pre-made ones. huh?
T-shirt, the cemetery, Captain Joe, Quiet Mafia, John Flynn, the Fly for Fun show.
Are those okay to sit out in the heat like that?
Yeah,
Doesn't hurt them?
yeah. No,
Okay.
no.
He makes up his money on us, so he'd have to charge his granddaughter.
Yeah, I mean, that Joe got like a $40 shirt, you know?
Like I said, but she ain't paying for Papa's time.
No, and I sweat my ass off out in this garage too.
Hey, Justin, Paul's back.
Yeah.
Ask him. Let's see. Ask him.
Paul,
What?
did you check the KB index before you went?
The what?
What did I say?
The KP index.
No.
So I got the second one, double or nothing. I said no.
Yeah.
You do know it's high today, don't you, Paul?
Your KP index of 5.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, guys.
You know we don't care, don't you?
I don't care.
You can't.
Yeah.
You
I
drove
got
with a
that one too.
submarine.
We all live in the yellow submarine.
I don't know. He looked like he's in a bad mood. What happened?
You have a bad flight or what?
No, everything went fine.
Oh, that's good.
Somebody nicked his parking spot.
Yep.
Yeah, probably.
No, go away. No.
Did you remember to bring your chair back?
Yep. I double checked it on the way back. I stopped halfway back home and looked and make sure it's still there.
I'll
You
never
should
forget.
arrange to have your own chair put there in place.
They should have your own chair. They should make a chair for you.
Yeah, they
The
should.
Paul Murray bench.
No, we're gonna have a statue put down there after Paul dies, and be him sitting in a chair flying his drone.
Yeah, with a drone hanging off the bridge on a piece of string.
No, just throw one in the water.
Be like a lucky wishing well instead of changing just throwing drones in the lake.
They gonna put a plaque on that pole that Joe had too.
Well, that pole's gone. I ain't worried about that pole anymore. I'll tell you what, that tree though, yesterday.
You said somebody added that pole there and wired it in and everything?
Well, they didn't wire it in. They just bolted it in. It had a what you call it? Solar power deal on it.
Must have been somebody that used that a lot
Hey.
and just
Hey, Justin.
Hmm.
I ain't never saw no pole. I'm just saying.
Well, that's
I got it.
Joe's famous for hitting every pole he can.
I was trying to be nice, Johnny, play into his story for him.
Johnny, when you go out and fly with him, you always figure he's going to get closer. He's going to hit a pole, right?
No, the only thing Johnny's got to worry about is standing next to me when I land.
He's got to be really careful because Poland's right next to the Ukraine
Yeah.
and they don't get on well.
Brenda said, I'll pitch in for the Paul Murray statue.
Who don't get on well?
The Poles and the Ukrainians.
They get on very well.
The Poles and the Ukrainians get along. It's just not the Russians.
It's the
You just
Russians.
got to make sure that he's sitting there flying his drone with a box of Boston creams next to him. And a Diet Pepsi.
We'll
I'll
get
tell
Tim
you what,
Hortons to
And
donate
a
in
giant
on-
can of. What the bench has to be made out of a giant Pepsi can.
the Ukraine club and the Polish club,
Hey,
is that I'm telling you, they don't get on.
They freaking
we
well
got
do.
we. This is easy. I'll call Diet Pepsi and they'll donate it. They'll do the whole thing.
That'd be
My
a
bo-
Tim.
My boss was Polish, and one of the lads at the golf club was Ukrainian.
Just because them two
Those
didn't
two
get on.
don't get on then.
Yeah, the countries get on.
They didn't even know each other.
Well, sometimes people clash.
Hmm.
Yeah, we can do a Pepsi and Tim Hortons co-sponsor.
Mm.
See,
No.
me and Justin didn't get on at first. We clashed until I realised I could farm Laura off to him.
Hey Joe,
no.
that
The Ukrainians
Bucky's opened up.
allow Poles in.
Yeah, opens tomorrow.
No, well, I think it was just for first responders yesterday and today.
Yeah, because tomorrow's supposed to be the grand opening.
What is it for?
Bucky.
Oh, Bucky's.
Yeah.
Dude, I wouldn't even, if anything, Joe, you probably could get a good shot of all the people going in there.
Hyperlapse.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
wouldn't try to go in there though.
Yeah, a bit like Marcus did for In-N-Out Burger.
Yeah. Doing
Yeah,
all bit of it.
but I wouldn't go into Bucky's the first week or two before
Yeah, you still
until it
can't get in
calms
that.
down.
You can't get in none of them at this time. Like the one at the beach that they opened in Orange Beach. That shit.
Well, the parking lot's just always jam packed.
Oh man, they got their own exit now. It's crazy.
We're getting a Target in our city. They just announced that, and they're building 2 more Publix.
No, great.
So we got 2 more grocery stores, and
I thought America
3.
was a big target.
Mm. We used to have Target over here.
We still have it.
I think it's a different target.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
okay.
I think it got took over by what's it, the net?
By Bad Shot.
How's it like Kmart?
Hey, Mark.
Yeah, we've still
Yeah.
got Kmart here.
Really?
I don't think
Yeah.
we've got Kmart.
Attention, Kmart shoppers.
Kmart's
Yeah.
been gone for a couple of years now.
Yeah, we've still
I'm
got it.
I remember when they shut the one down here.
You still got bloody Woolworths, for God's sake.
It was,
Woolworths is a supermarket over here.
but
Yeah, we
like
Woolworths anymore.
when Kmart was open, it was sad. You would walk in there, and it was like walking through a not as big as Walmart, but pretty close. The one that was here, and there was just nobody in there. No employees. There'd be like 1 or 2 people working. That was it. Just always dead in there. And then they finally shut it down. Now that building's gone. They Hilton bought it and tore it down and built a whole brand new hotel on top of it.
I remember TG and Y.
Yeah.
Hey,
No, that's
We had
nothing
FH
like that.
for you.
Hungry at this one.
You know what TG and Y stands for?
No.
Toys, games, and yachts. That's what they had. Everything.
Okay.
Ours closed about maybe 3 years ago, Randy. It's been
What's that?
Yeah, that's
Kmart.
still going.
Shit, I Kmart been closed 20 years probably.
And they had a really good sale, dude. I went in there when they had everything like 95% off.
Joe, don't they have a Kmart in Covington still?
No, it's gone.
Vanderbilt?
Gone.
Oh, it's gone. It was right there on 190.
And I got a 12-inch Android tablet and an 8-inch, and I think I paid $30 or $40 for both of them at the time.
Oop. Gotta move you all over.
You know what I've got somewhere? The old comic T-shirt.
Okay.
Oh, the jacket from the comic superstore when they closed down.
Yeah,
They were
they'd
giving,
be
they were
wild.
giv- yeah, they were giving away the staff uniforms on the last day. It's funny as fuck.
Eh,
Dude, Kmart wasn't even taking their shelving. They even sold that.
Yeah, they
When they got down to just bare shelves, they were selling the shelving.
Stop
And
and print.
people were coming in and buying it.
I didn't see it.
all right, well, you can get a bottle of water next. Yes.
Oop.
There he goes again. See ya, Johnny.
He'll be back. Probably knocked his phone down. This really pissing me off. LSU game's supposed to be on. It's been on 25 minutes. And the other game's not finished, and they got stupid things on the other channels. They can't just flip it. It's really pissing me off.
I remember when Sears closed down in our town too. I don't know if the manager like worked out something with the Sears manager from Walmart, because we ended up getting like 8 of their employees the day they shut down. They all transferred like over to Walmart, and they gave like 8 or 9 people jobs right out the gate. So I don't know if that was some kind of thing between the 2 store managers.
You know what? It might be delayed. Might be raining.
But yeah, we took in like 8 or 9 employees from Sears when they shut down.
My, what they playing, Joe?
No, they're supposed to be playing today. It just came on. It said LSU, West Virginia, new time, 7 p.m.
They did, Randy, at the end
But
there.
what?
They merged.
Super regional. They
That
already LSU's up 1-0. They win tonight. They go to the College World Series.
Are you on about softball, baseball,
Baseball.
Cricket,
right?
rounders.
Yeah.
It's college baseball.
Right.
So they switched it to 7 o'clock tonight. I bet you it's raining up there, and that's why they switched it.
Well, England.
I got a bill just now for my State Farm policy for $18 for my addition to the personal articles policy, right? But they're telling me that I can't take the other one. I can't file for the other one, but it's still on my policy. So why, if they didn't take it off my policy, why I'm paying more money?
Mhm.
Idiots, bunch of idiots. The new one's on there, but the old one's still on there. I might just call the claims department and claim it. See what they tell me.
They're not paid out for it yet.
No, they're not. My agent told me that they probably won't pay it because I was given one. I said, but that still don't mean, it's the fact that if I wrecked a car and got paid for the car through State Farm, and the people that own the car or the dealership said, hey, we're just going to give you a car, that shouldn't matter.
Yeah, no, it shouldn't. I mean, how are they going to treat that as though, say, your drone got wrecked, and then your wife bought you a new drone? Are they going to say, oh no, you've had a new drone, you can't have it?
Well, they're saying, well, they replaced it. I said, they gave me one out of a courtesy. This one's gone. The one that was insured never came back to me.
The biggest problem you did was told them that you already got it replaced.
Yeah, but it shouldn't matter. I told them that right off the bat.
Well, of course it does matter. You've had it replaced. Now, if you're actually claiming on that after you've had it replaced, you're actually committing fraud.
No, because the one that they didn't. I see what you're saying, but it's apples and oranges. I'm not saying
they didn't replace it under any insurance policy.
It doesn't matter, right? If I was to buy a Samsung TV, right, and it goes kaboom, and Samsung replace it, I can't go to my home insurance and go, I want a new TV as well. Yeah, because Samsung have replaced it. Yeah, all that happens is that the insurance will now cover the new TV.
Yeah, they should have dropped the other one off the policy.
Yeah, they didn't drop it off the policy, and that means that I'm paying more money on the policy because it's still on there.
That's
So
just
I'll
a
have to let them know
clerical error.
That's the people I deal with. The agent. So I'm gonna change it to the agent right down the street, so I can go in the office and talk to him. But I can't do it. The other agent's got to change it. I'm gonna tell them it's been too hard to get back and forth with y'all on this since I live on this side. Can y'all go ahead and put the paperwork in so I can switch to this guy right here down the street. You know?
Yeah, it's the same thing Sprint and what was it, Radio Shack did, Randy. Two dying companies merged and they both sank together. Yeah, because they should take it off the policy and either credit what you've been paying. If you paid a month on it and you didn't have it, they need to credit that money back to your account.
I'll get with him.
Which I'm sure it's probably not much. How much are you paying a month to insure those things?
No, it's $60 it was 70 something dollars for the year.
Oh yeah, that ain't nothing, dude. You're
But
talking
now
about
they're
a few
telling me
dollars.
I owe $19.73 as an adjustment on the policy. And it's gotta be paid by July 10th. And then the policy doesn't say personal policies, it says fire. So why have fire policy when they already got the home thing, you know?
Unless they're doing separate policy. You know how
Well,
they
the
do that
personal
stuff.
articles was not fire. It was personal articles. Didn't say fire on it before. So they probably got it. Whoever put it in last time I put one in, and it was when I did the Avada when the Avada 2, when I changed it. They what you call it? They had it wrong and they had to go back and redo it because they put something in wrong. It's just stupid shit, is all. That's what happens when the guy's across the lake, and when you try to call him, you talk to the person that works for him that's got the baby in the room the whole time crying, and she's always at home doing it, you know. And then she said, "Oh, I forgot to get with him this week. I'll get with him next week." And then you email him, and he just ignores it. That's why I need to switch it. Switch it to the guy down the street, because at least I can walk in and look at the secretary. She's not bad looking.
Oh my God.
But I went in and talked to her, and she says, "We can't switch it. He's got to switch it."
Mm.
Yeah, because they act like independent franchises, don't they? Aren't those State Farm little
Yeah.
offices? Those are all franchised, aren't they?
Yep.
Yeah, so they operate as their own business even though they're under the same name.
Yep.
Which makes sense because then other agents could just be actively stealing other accounts, without the other know. Yeah, I can see why they don't allow that. That way both agents agree to switch over if a customer requests it. There's another ship coming behind you, Paul. There's some Coast Guard ship. Oh, you're muted. Paul must be edited.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen any more people buying the Mavic 4?
And you're missing a ship, Paul. That training ship behind you, maybe.
Hmm.
You're muted, Paul. Can't hear you. Just trying to find the window.
He's editing, I'd say.
That's a Coast Guard cutter.
That's what I thought it was. Looked
I
like a
couldn't
Coast
tell.
Guard ship. Well, when
Yeah.
it was coming up the other angle, I could see the side of it, and it looked like a Coast
I didn't
Guard
see the
marker.
side of it. I couldn't see the side.
Yeah, get close to that ship.
Technically, he's not supposed to fly that ship.
Well,
It's
you're
a
not.
military ship. There's a TFR on him.
Is it really?
You got to stay
Not,
within
not
500
on
feet.
not on Coast Guard ships.
Military ship, Paul. All military
I
ships.
already talked to the Coast Guard. They said no problem.
Well, that's what the FAA says. Military ships.
Well, technically, Coast Guard doesn't fall under the military, though.
But
They
just
are
saying.
under, because I believe they're not under the DoD. I think they actually fall under Homeland Security.
Hey, Mark.
They're under a
agree.
different federal agency.
Hey, Mark. We just have to sit out of this. It's between the Americans.
Yeah. Coast Guard would be
I'm all-
emergency services over
No,
here.
look it up. I'm almost positive they don't fall
Yeah.
under the military.
Well, yeah, but it just
Yeah.
to me it just seems
Different
like that
rules
would
in
be just
Australia.
I mean, to be honest, Joe, I wouldn't want to fly around one of them motherfuckers.
I wouldn't do it either.
No, that'd be a great video as your drone gets blown up. Especially your screen recording.
One ship or two of the ships that I would stay the hell away from if I was flying would be an aircraft carrier and nuclear subs.
Yeah.
They don't play about those
that'd be
nuclear
great.
subs, dude.
I'm going to be honest. I wouldn't recommend flying around a nuclear sub in the first place.
You can't fly underwater. I know where you're going with that.
Well, Paul tries. That's what Paul didn't tell you. When he lost his drone under the bridge, he was actually trying to get a sub.
But no, they actually, they don't play about the nuclear subs though. There was a video of these two guys that were just out fishing on this lake or this inlet, whatever it was, and they were bringing a nuclear sub through there, and the people that were escorting them came like hauling ass over there in boats and were like, "You got to get out of the water. You can't be here."
Got to feel sorry for that fisherman that hooks into it. Shit.
Now you really want to freaking out, stand out there and start taking pictures of
Oh yeah. It won't take them for long.
When my cousin left port, we didn't know where he was for the next 6 months.
He was swimming with the fishes. Literally.
He was on the nuclear subs going out of Southampton.
Yeah, no, that's what I said. He was swimming with the fishes. Literally.
Speaking of being out on naval ships, how's your son doing, Joe?
Which one?
No. He's not gone yet.
The one
Yeah.
that's out on the ship.
He's back. He's been back.
Yeah,
Told
but
you that.
you said he got sick on the ship, or
He got sick again when he came back. He was sick for a day. He goes back out on the 18th. They said it's ridiculous that they're going out so many times for 2 or 3 weeks, coming back, and then they're home for 2 weeks, then they go back out for 2 or 3 weeks, and then they're gonna come home for a couple of weeks, and then they're out for 6 to 8 months. But the thing is that he was saying that the
Okay.
Navy, this is going to be the last one for a while, because when the Navy comes back, they're going to start bringing their ships in to retrofit them and fix them up. So he said, so it's going to take about 2 years before they have another one go out. I said, so there you go. You'll never see one again.
Okay, so during peacetime, the Coast Guard does operate under Department of Homeland Security. However, in times of war, it can be directed by the president. It can be transferred to the Department of Navy.
Mm.
Well, you heard what, Trump's got the National Guard out in LA, right?
Oh,
He
yeah.
said that if the National Guard can't handle it, he'll deploy the Marines.
Yeah.
That thing about it is that Trump actually thanked them, I think it was on Twitter, before they even got to there. He thanked them for their assistance in doing it before they actually did it.
Well,
The
they just,
National Guard?
they're not sitting in a barrack someplace. A lot of those guys are home, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah, but
and
that's
most
the
of them
thing.
reservists.
There's no yeah, but the thing is you as far as the United States goes, our
Yeah.
reservists actually have a lot of experience.
Yep.
And there's no reason the National Guard wouldn't be able to handle it to where the Marines would have to come in. I mean,
Well,
literally,
I agree too.
they'll be fine.
They said today, they said, we're not gonna allow this crap to happen. If you walk up to one of the officers or one of the military and you spit on them, you will be arrested for assault. He said that's what they're doing. They're walking and spitting on people. He said you will be hit and brought down and taken into custody.
Why would you spit on someone? What's
That's
wrong
what
with
they
you?
do. They go down there, they throw bottles of urine on them. So anything they do to a cop or a military person there, if they throw a rock, it's an assault, arrest them.
Mm-hmm.
So they're arresting everybody. Guess what? It'll stop.
Yeah, but there's
Do,
nothing
do
going
that
on.
shit in Brazil.
Yeah, but there's nothing going on right now. That shit died off a few hours later. The
Well, they were
sheriff's
out there a little while ago, right in front of them, giving them shit.
because I know the sheriffs did a pretty good job last night of getting that shit contained. You know, because the LA County sheriffs, they have a big sheriff's department. Oh, I was watching body cam footage of this chick the other day, and she was freaking out on the cops. She spit on one of them. They put a spit mask on her. And they put her in this full body harness where she couldn't move. And then they had to put a helmet on her, like she was special needs
Okay.
or something. I was like, what the fuck? Oh, this lady was flipping out. TJ, what's up? Are they back out there riding again, or is it just a few people?
I don't know what it's on right now. Let me see if they're showing anything. Commercial. Let you know in a minute.
It's good. Some chicken and rice.
I made some spaghetti and meatballs today. I've been wanting them for a long time.
Dude, I fell out of liking spaghetti and meatballs. I don't know why.
Yeah, that plate I sent you, I'm stuffed. That's how much filled me up.
That's good though.
Well, it's good, but what's happening is my body must be adjusting to this thing because later on I'll get hungry again. And I'm kind of at the point now where I'm not dropping as much. So I've got to really pay attention to what I'm doing. It could be it's just the dosage needs to go up. And that goes up Wednesday.
Well, I mean, most of it's going to be medication, but some of it you're just going to have to like tell yourself, no, I don't need to eat right now, you know?
Yeah. Or if I do decide to eat something, just eat some of that fruit, you know?
Yeah, it's a lot of it's just more, there's a good chunk of it's going to be self-control. You know, have to
And
tell
have me
yourself
eating that frozen broccoli. What are you talking about?
no.
I like frozen broccoli. I'll eat it. I don't like fresh broccoli. I'd rather fresh broccoli, you know what I mean?
Dude, I'm not against any vegetables. I don't care if they're canned, frozen, or fresh. I'll eat them.
Shut up, TJ.
Well, come on in and talk with us. We know you're not working.
Yeah, we won't talk at once.
Why don't you come on here and have a laugh so no one else can
Come in
hear?
while Paul's muted. That way we don't have to hear him making you laugh.
Paul's not muted though.
He was a few minutes.
Well, he ain't now. See, Paul, he's bullying you, aren't they, again?
Yep. They don't pay attention.
What?
Hold on, wind the fuck up. We don't pay attention.
Who doesn't pay attention?
I think you can rest your case there, Paul.
Oh. TJ said he's just getting home.
No excuse, TJ.
Oh, he's got to have like a shower, you know, a little 30-minute giggle fest in the bathroom. So he'll be off.
And shampoo and blow dry his mustache.
Oh, my hair always dries quick as fuck, even when it's real long. Cut my hair the other day, man. I was tired of it. It's getting long and it's hot out.
Mm.
I mean, trying to maintain a hairstyle in hot, humid weather. Good luck.
Yeah, I just have to worry about sunstroke. Not very often, mind you, because we don't get that much sun.
You gotta be wearing a hat when you go out, huh?
Well, I should do, but I don't.
Get you on them big straw hats.
No, I've got a white Panama and a couple of flat caps.
Oh, like golfers caps?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
ones
not-
golfers wear.
not baseball caps.
Yeah, they're the flat
Okay.
ones that you see golfers wear.
Well, most of them wear baseball caps now. But
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
in the old days, the flat cap was a golf thing.
Mhm.
Payne Stewart used to wear a flat cap.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, most of them wear hats. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, you ought to
time.
see it right now, California. Fox News. I mean, there's hundreds of people out on top of the interstate. They got looks like the interstate's blocked too somewhere.
Back at it again, huh?
Yeah, it's blocked. They got the interstate blocked too. They're all running down on the interstate and blocking the interstate.
Mm.
See, that's when it's time to come in and sweep them off. Bring in buses. Bring in buses and
There
bring
he
them in.
is.
Here comes
Finally.
TJ.
Find an empty warehouse and start house them in a warehouse.
Hey, TJ.
I Anthony.
Tell him, Dominic.
That's pretty good. That's good. Oh shit. Oh shit.
If somebody's gonna wind up getting hit out there, then everybody's gonna be pissed off.
Yeah, look at that. There's thousands of people. If you turn on Los Angeles,
Yeah,
holy
it's
cow,
Fox.
look at that.
What happened?
That's
What's
just
going
all
on?
the people out.
Turn on
Rioting.
Fox News, TJ.
What's
There's
up? Turn on Fox
Thousands
News.
of people out there
They're
on the
ICE.
streets.
They're protesting
They're
ICE,
protesting ICE.
deporting
Oh.
people.
Oh,
Not because it's
deporting.
hot out.
not because it's hot out.
Somebody broke wind and they're trying to sort it out.
Well, see, I don't see any National Guard there. Do you?
No, I don't see anybody. That's at a different place. It says rioters block 101 freeway in Los Angeles. And now they're standing in front of the cars, not letting them through. See, that's the thing. They're all out there with their Mexican flags. They all need to go.
Fox News, is it?
You just changed it to Fox News with football.
Oh.
I'm
Look at
watching it live on
That
YouTube.
goofy governor out there blaming Trump for the
Oh,
whole.
it's something else.
I didn't change it.
He said we didn't have a problem until Trump got involved. That's why he got involved, because
Football's not
shit
on.
was stupid.
That's right.
There you go, TJ. There's
If
the
he could
link in
handle,
the
he
chat.
wouldn't have been involved.
That's the live broadcast on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I tell you, the thing that gets me, they want to get out there and protest. Don't block anything,
Oh,
don't
God.
stop anything, but get
Well,
rid of the
there's police
flag
fires.
because you're in my country.
Actually, a lot of those cars on the freeway, they're just blocked in. They can't get out.
Oh, they're getting out.
Oh, there's police cars there. Yeah.
Wow, that is
Where?
insane
Oh.
looking.
Yeah, look at the police cars back there.
Yeah,
They're
there's a
not, they're not
whole
where they're
lines
supposed
of
to
them.
be.
There's that one area where there's like 100 police cars and 4
All
lines.
those protesters out there with all them signs. That's crazy.
You know what they're protesting? They're protesting ICE picking up people on felony warrants for raping kids, for assault, for theft, for all kind of felony warrants that out there. They're trying to pick up people. So they're saying, leave them here. Just leave them here.
Oh gosh.
That's what's so
There you go.
stupid about it.
Well, doesn't
No volume.
ICE protest? So what is in this situation? What does ICE stand for?
It's people shooting fireworks.
And it's immigration, customs, and enforcement, TJ.
Yeah.
That was it, yeah. I couldn't get the 3 letters together.
Yeah, I almost said something else. I had to catch myself because I was paying attention to the live
Uh-huh.
feed.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. They're all in the streets.
If that was in Florida, all you do is keep blowing the horn until they get pissed off. One of them smacks your car, then you just punch it. I felt threatened. I get out the way real fucking quick.
God, dog.
They're blocking both sides now, right? They look like they got the other side blocked too.
There's the cops all lined up.
That's pretty insane.
Look at all them cop cars, man. Look at that.
You know what we need right now?
Do it.
We need
Do
that
it.
big earthquake.
Oh, there's the National Guard right there.
Yeah, they're right there.
Yeah.
They need that big earthquake right now. The whole thing dropped off to the
Well,
wall.
that's either National
Fireworks.
Guard or that could be the SWAT teams or the police departments too.
That's police. Cause that,
Yeah.
that's just in front of where all of the.
They're on both sides. They got them trapped in. Yeah, if you notice that, they got them trapped in too.
Yep.
It's gonna end bad, I'm telling you. Because I tell you, when I was down here, when that shit happened, when I was down here, and they told us we had our M16s and we were fully loaded, and they said if one shot's fired, if we say fire, you shoot into the crowd. Hell with them.
You know, people trying to go about their business of being disrupted.
Now you see what I would like to happen? Every one of them get picked up and check to see if what's the immigration status.
Yep.
What I will say is, thank fuck you guys are not in control, right? Because the last thing you want to do is fire into that crowd or start picking them off. Because
Well, what
all
are you going to do if they start firing from that crowd into your crowd?
that's different, right?
That's what
But
I'm saying.
if
That's what I
you
said.
think-
If one shot is fired towards us, we're to fire back. That's what I said.
They're not all foreigners, but the problem is if you inflame it, right, it will move from Los Angeles right across America.
Well, the other thing too,
Because
the other thing too, David, is they have proved the fact that there's a large percent of those people that are protesting are being paid by
Illegal.
the hour.
Yeah, they're getting paid and they're illegal.
Yep. Rent a crowd.
we
Well,
had
That's what they're doing.
we had this last year when we had the riots over here. Everyone was like, "Oh, they're getting paid. They're getting paid. They're not getting paid.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, yes, they are.
Who's paying them?
Because when they've arrested them, they've said that they've been being paid. And
Okay,
Yeah, they
they
do,
couldn't tell
yeah.
then who was paying them.
who's paying them?
They do here. I can only talk for Australia, but they do here.
Yep.
Is this in California somewhere or where?
Yep.
Where is it?
Yeah, it's in Los Angeles.
They're being funded by George Soros and all his cronies that are sending the money in there. And people are paying these people. They're organized. If you notice, sometimes all the signs look the same, so they're just arbitrarily making signs that look the same. Where they getting the signs from? Somebody's making them.
Of course they are. The protesters are making them.
No.
Yeah, but somebody's supporting them.
Right.
So the
We're not-
protesters might be making them, but they're being handed out to the protesters.
well, yes,
That's been
because
going on here for 3 years.
the charities and stuff like that. It happens over here when we go to protest in London, or even if you're just walking through London. Yeah, as soon as the protest kicks off, just these fucking signs come out of nowhere. It's like, when? Because the
That
organisers
means
make them en
somebody's
masse.
somebody's paying them. It's not just a coincidence that everybody got the same freaking sign.
Yeah, just a
Somebody's got to
coincidence.
pay for them.
Yeah, it's a
What's up, Al?
coincidence. Hey, Al.
DJ, just be happy you're not living in that area.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, what the hell are all those people doing out there?
But this could just happen anywhere in America at the moment.
Yeah.
It could happen over here as well, because we're going through the same shit.
Yeah, we've got similar issues too.
Like everywhere, you have, you have an open immigration policy, and then suddenly you need to get rid of that policy.
Should not have had an open immigration policy.
There go the tornado signs.
What?
Tornado sirens. What?
I think Justin just brought wind.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Donald. That's what I said yesterday too. I said something similar to that. Yeah.
Valid
You're right
point,
there,
Don.
Donald. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Donald, are they just testing the sirens or you got bad weather going through there?
Oh shit.
I think he's got bad weather.
Yeah, good point, Donald.
Yeah, that sounds about accurate.
Well, the problem is that there's a lot of the Mexicans have illegally entered the United States too, and they think they have a right to be here.
Hmm.
It's not just South Americans. It's not just Asians. The Mexicans are a big part of the invasion too.
There he is. JB Rance is back again. Good to see. Good to see you turning up again.
Yeah, he was in here this morning.
Yeah, that's
It was
good.
here yesterday as well.
Yeah.
What's up, JB?
Do your penance, do your probation, and you'll become a respected part of our community.
Respected.
Yeah,
Yeah, well respected.
Donald,
I'd have
speak for
to-
yourself.
I'd have to agree with you too, Donald. That tends to only happen in the cities, the big
Yeah.
cities.
You say that it can happen anywhere in the
Well,
world.
I mean, a protest can happen anywhere, but a lot of towns that got like 50, 60, 100,000 people, they usually don't face issues
Yeah,
like
so
that unless they're the direct center cause of the protest. A lot of times, usually these kind of protests, they do generally just break out in the big cities.
They were shooting flashbangs out there this morning at him.
Yeah, they're on loudspeakers saying, "We know who you are, ICE. You're terrorists."
Damn, that's a lot of cop cars. Fuck me.
Yeah, big cities. Yeah, we have that
Maybe I'm-
problem here too.
Think about how much fuel they're wasting right now. They've got like fucking 500 cars parked.
No.
Just running.
What they need to do is these people doing all of this, they need to charge them with domestic terrorism.
Yeah, but the courts are going to stick that. Hello, Dre.
What's up, Jay?
One woman standing in front of the court, cop walks up behind her, goes like this.
Is that an Israeli flag?
They had somebody out there with an Israeli flag yesterday.
Yeah.
And you put that away
I-
too.
I've seen mainly just Mexican flags, to be honest.
Good. Yep.
I haven't, and I just noticed it looked like it might have been an Israeli flag, but
Well, that's good then.
yeah, I've seen a lot. Actually, I've seen a lot of
Oh.
those, Donald.
Good on you, JB.
The first black Premier League referee in the UK died aged 65.
Yep.
I'm more sad because he scored a goal for us.
Oh, great.
He wasn't meant to, but his first game that he refereed, he backheeled it into the back of the net.
Oh, is
Huh.
that the National
Awesome.
Guard? No, that is the National Guard.
Yes.
Looks like a small group of them, though. Maybe like 30 or 40.
You know, the thing of it is I don't understand too, Joe, is that if you see them riding bicycles and motorcycles the wrong way on a freeway, that's illegal.
Yep.
Yeah, but the problem is the cops are dealing with 1,000 different things going on right now.
Yeah,
Traffic violations ain't at the top of their list at the moment.
yeah, that's the point. You guys are going, go in and arrest them all. You try to arrest one of them people. Yeah, this is why when they had the riots over here, they let them get on with it, and then they just kettled. What they call kettling over here is where they get small groups of them into little areas that they can't get out of. Yeah, and then they pick them off one by one.
Yeah, the way they'll do it here is if you're at the front of the protest line, you're causing an issue or you throw something, a lot of times they'll grab you and they'll throw you behind them.
Yeah,
and then like 20
that's what we
cops
call
will grab your
kettling.
ass.
That's what
Yeah,
they call
no.
kettling. They grab you, chuck you behind the line,
The
and then
police line, yeah.
they'll slam you in the van. Yeah, get you out of there. But like the other part of kettling is when they'll lead you down a road that you think, oh, get down the other end of here, we're free. But they don't tell you is there's a whole massive fucking riot police down the bottom end waiting for you.
I haven't seen any Nicaragua flags, but I don't
know what the flag of Nicaragua looks like.
I've been seeing is just Mexican flags, to be honest.
Yeah,
I haven't
You've not
even
seen any
flag.
British flags yet, or Australian. No.
I
Not
haven't
one
even
Australian going, I'm not going home.
Dre said he did see an American flag. I just haven't seen one yet. I'm
I
sure
saw
he
one
did.
yesterday on the news.
Yes, then get it then.
No, it's
Yeah, the only two that I've seen was
According
Mexican and
to
Israeli.
NBC and CBS, the National Guard are only there to keep law and order and peace, but allow them to protest. So they're not going to stop the protest, but they're going to keep the peace.
CBS, NBC, fake news.
They're all
Yeah.
bad. They're
They're
all
not
backing.
going to tell you everything.
Well, I could say that about Fox News, couldn't I? Really?
They're backing up the police.
Fox
is what
tells
they're
you
doing.
what you're looking at.
yeah.
They're going to say
Fox.
these are peaceful
Yeah, that's a
protesters. They're
Mexican
not
flag.
doing anything
But these-
illegal.
These images are already on the other channels as well. But the
Yeah, they're
point
saying they're
is,
peaceful. They're peaceful. They're not doing anything. They're not hurting anybody but blocking the interstate, which is illegal.
Yeah, blocking.
They're
like,
blocking the interstate,
You're
which
allowed
is
to-
illegal. They are committing
I have
a
no
crime.
problem with them
Arrest
protesting.
their asses.
like Trump said, he sent the National Guard in to protect government buildings and keep law and order and peace. That's what he said. That's his words.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, as far
Oh,
as I can
If you're
tell,
wondering why they're not going in all guns blazing, it's because they've been told keep the peace and let them protest. That's what he's done.
Well, yeah, but you just said it, David. Law and order. That's not
Well,
law and order.
yeah,
that
but this
It's
is
not law and order when you're
Well,
breaking the
but
law.
the point
this-
is, you're
when you
gonna.
break the law, you break the law.
But if you start going in on a protest, you're going to inflame it.
Valid point.
you do have to be more
You're either gonna
precise.
You
inflame
have
it or
to
you're
be
gonna
more
stop it.
tactic. You have to be more tactical. Yeah.
Mm.
Look, did you see
Yeah.
that? Somebody threw something down from the overpass down on the police,
Mm.
and it
Yeah.
exploded on the street.
Well, guess what? They'll have him on footage, and they'll be picking him up.
At the
Yeah. Look what
I'm-
happened over here. People last summer
Oh.
that were rioting all think they got away with it And then months later, they were getting knocks on the door, and it was like, "Yeah, we just identified you. You're fucked." That's what they do. They don't go all in guns blazing to inflame it. They let it fizzle out, let them burn their energy, and then they pick them off. And then a couple of days later, a couple of months later, they'll be out there picking them off, knocking on doors.
Yeah, but you know, if you want to protest, protest, but don't disturb other people because you're not doing the protest appropriately there.
Like I said last year, a protest, yeah, no matter how you protest, it's going to cause a disruption because you're getting in people's way, you're on footpaths, you're in the roads. Doesn't matter. Yeah, it's always going to upset someone, it's always going to offend someone, and that's the problem.
Well, you can get permits for protesting
Yeah,
Like
where
in a
they'll
park
shut
or
down a
whatever, yep.
portion of the city. If you
David,
have
have you ever?
that
I'm
kind
going
of
to ask you a question.
organization.
Right, okay, I'm going to ask you a question, right? One of them people go to the government and say, "Can I have a permit to protest against ICE coming in and nicking all these illegals?" What do you think the government's going to say?
Well, they'll give it to them.
yeah, we have that here.
I'm just playing devil.
But what they'll do
advocate,
is,
right?
but what they'll do is they'll set up an area for you
Area
to
for them to
protest.
protest.
Yeah,
And they'll make sure that there's no traffic and all that. That's the whole point. You can get
and
permits for
reroute the
gatherings.
traffic.
But again,
What we do
these
here.
these protests didn't just weren't organized, yeah, because no one knew Nice was going in, and it all kicked off when Nice went in, right? So no one's going to get a permit once that's happened.
Oh no! I'm saying there are pop-up
Before.
Yeah, of
protests
course
like
there
this.
are. There are ways
But-
of having protests and demonstrations, but most aren't done that way. Yeah, when people uprise, they're not going to go and look for a permit.
Well, David, have you ever been part of a protest before? Have you ever done that?
Oh
Yes.
yeah, David's a big protester.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. You're going to wear women's clothes.
That's got nothing to do with protesting. What are you
Yeah,
talking
but it's-
about?
Hey, no, wait a second. Wait
Oh,
a
no,
second.
Paul,
wait a
Paul,
second.
Paul.
What's
Don't even
the
drag
money-
it out, Paul.
What's the money going to? The money is
Domestic
going
abuse.
to abuse of people.
Domestic abuse. Yeah?
Yes,
You know
and
what
that's
that
a
is?
protest,
Protest.
and you have a right to protest.
It's not a protest. This is where women and men have beaten each other up, right? Where families have to break free from it. I don't even
And
go
you're-
there.
and you're
No, I don't even
protesting.
fucking go there, right?
And
Don't
you're
call me a fucking
protesting.
protester or a terrorist or anything else.
You're
right?
protesting.
I don't give a
that.
fuck.
Time
Oh,
out, time out.
I don't give a fuck. You know
Time
what?
out.
Fuck you, Paul. You're an absolute fucking prick.
Time
Well, thank
out.
you, David. Say
Yeah, fuck
goodbye.
That's the question. I was just wanting to know. Sorry, I asked.
Wait, hold on. What?
All I did was ask David if he's been part of a protest before, and Paul and David just started cutting each other's throats.
Well, the thing of it is he has a right to protest, and I get that. But he says he's never has. But everybody has protested something.
I mean, I've never experienced one like in real life. Like I've seen them on TV, but I've never like experienced one in real life. So that's all I was just wanting to know. I didn't know it was gonna go that far.
All right, TJ. That was a
Yeah.
disagreement between them. It wasn't your fault.
Yeah. Wow, that was pretty crazy.
What's up, Tim?
Hey, Tim.
Tim,
Tim, what's up?
Brenda. Don't get me wrong. David has every right in the world to protest and to discuss his issues, but not to be condescending to everybody else.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, but how do we get on the subject of David protesting besides CJ's question?
That was it.
Yeah,
Well, David's
that
not
was-
protest. David's not going to a protest. He's just walking for a cause. It's like a cancer walk. That's not. That's something that's sanctioned. You know, they've planned. The city's planned for that.
Yep.
That's why I said you can get permits if you want to have a legit protest, and you're organized and you have a lot of people coming. You
Yeah,
can get
exactly.
city permits for that, or county, whatever.
But
area you're in.
I guarantee you that what's going on in Los Angeles does not have a city.
Oh no, that's a pop-up protest, of course. Like I said, there's definitely ones that just pop up out of nowhere.
No, David's is not a protest. It's an organized event for charity.
Yeah, it's
No,
not
no,
a
no.
protest.
Yeah, I'm not talking about David's thing. I'm saying that what's happening in LA is just a pop-up protest.
Good
Oh,
evening,
Dre.
Dre. The voice of
Well, good-
reason.
According to who you asked that about. Hey,
Dude, that was crazy. Like, I just asked a simple question, is all.
Like I said, TJ, that wasn't your fault. That was just something between them two.
Yeah.
what did I miss? Somebody put a nickel in David's spot again. So I was just reading some of the comments in the chat.
So you're saying that the Coast Guard used to fall under Department of Transportation back in the day?
Yep. Before
wow, I didn't know that.
before 9/11, Coast Guard fell under the Department of Transportation in peace. That's primarily because they were there as enforcement of commerce, waterways. So that's why Coast Guard affects, shipping.
Yeah, Tim, you only go on gaming panels.
Yeah, how about them drones?
Yeah, Al, I'm sure you're gonna get one.
Yeah, I guess you do have a point there, Don.
Yeah, and I was saying the same thing. It's a completely different thing. Because like when you're doing a fundraiser type cancer walk, whatever it might be,
Yeah.
cities plan for that ahead of time, and it's it's just
Yeah.
people walking and waving like a parade.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're two
It's
different
already
things.
got the permits for it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, they're two different things. It's a fundraiser. That's a fundraiser.
Yeah.
Protesting is something different.
Well, like
Yeah,
I said,
well,
Bob,
I apologize to everybody. I didn't mean to get it
Casey.
all in a row.
What I missed about this,
nice,
You-
Tim.
we can't hear your audio.
I said,
Yeah,
what did I miss that got this conversation going?
we
I
just,
don't even remember how it started.
I
to be
don't
honest.
know.
We're
It was
watching
something
what's
between
going
a
on in
protest and a,
California.
Okay, well, I've been watching and it's no different than anything else that's happened out here since the Rodney King event. So, it is what
it's
it
a go-to
is.
question, Lon.
Oh yeah, those 80s riots were way worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Way
I
worse.
said, it is what it is. And, we've had several protests. I can say any of these are far from a riot. If you go back to the 90, late 80s, early 90 riots, Rodney King situation and stuff, this is
Yeah.
just a protest. I mean, we've had several protests over the last several years from people who have been on strike, from Hollywood actors to whoever else and stuff like that.
unions have been on strike, the airport to Teamsters, everything else in the last few years. We've had nurses go on strike, and you know, number of things. There's always somebody in the street protesting something here in
nice, Donald.
California. So that's why I say what I'm seeing on TV, and it's on every channel here. This is just run the mill stuff. People get excited. I think some people are finding out they've been duped from what they were told a year ago prior to the election, and now they feel betrayed. You have other people who are, like I say, who are looking at why
would they
certain
do?
people have been taken.
How were they duped? He said he was going to pick up everybody illegal.
Like I said, Joe, some people didn't think it applied to them.
Oh yeah.
Just like you got folks in Florida, Cuban community in Florida, all upset. Venezuelan community down in Florida, all upset. But now they're being targeted by, even though like you and I both agree, this is what he campaigned on.
Yeah, he did.
Somehow, for some reason, that part you didn't hear. You didn't register, you know. And this election, Trump got the highest number of the Latino vote of any previous president in the United States history.
Yep.
So there you are.
And everybody he's going after right now has warrants on them that are outstanding.
Well, I can't.
That's what they're saying.
That's what they're saying. But
that's what they're saying.
How does a 4-year-old child have a warrant?
Yeah, you got a point. You got a point.
That's what I'm saying.
Like I said, the mom and the dad have a warrant. We got to do something with that 4-year-old child.
No, this wasn't even that. This is a child who was brought here on a special medical visa because of her disease. The whole family got their stuff canceled and they had to get out. Now, the last week here in California, we've had 4 juveniles that have been taken into ICE custody and then released some 72 hours to a week later because they were wrongly detained. These are juveniles.
That happens with anybody, though.
Well, I mean, it can happen, but like I said, you got to be thorough. I mean, especially when you start talking about little ones, you know, you got, hey, you know, and like same thing, it's going to happen. That's why I'm saying that, you know, you got to be a little more surgical in what you're doing. A lot of people are getting snatched up now across the country are not these gang members any longer. These are just everyday folks who, you know, who I would say some of them are obvious illegal immigrants, but some of them have had visas. Some of them are still going through the process who are being detained as they walk out of immigration court. So how do you see
that being wrong?
Like I say, how do you justify that? People, as they come out of court at an immigration hearing, and they're being detained by ICE. And I'm like, wait a minute, they're doing the process, as we all say, let them go through the process, and then you're snatching them up as they come out of the hearing. So, like I say, it's all about the method. That's what I always try to tell people. It's about the method, how you get it done. No one is complaining that something needs to be done. It's how you go about getting it done. How many mistakes are going to be made while you're getting it done. No Kool-Aid, Alon. It's all about what our Constitution says about the rule of law. People are trying to use that process to get legalized, and then they're getting detained. Now, I'm not saying everybody's is going through that. I'm not saying that ICE is doing things totally wrong, but you gotta be very careful where you're picking people up from. ICE has been on school campuses here in California, checking on students, and lucky enough that the principals at those schools have not let them come onto the campus. But what need does ICE need to go on a school campus asking about little Julio? Lon, you are totally wrong. The U.S. Constitution does not apply to U.S. citizens only. It applies to anyone who is on U.S. soil or territorial waters. That's all I tell folks. Don't go by what you get told in the headlines. If you've not read the Constitution, don't misquote it.
Aren't there certain things in the Constitution that are strictly for citizens though? But not all of it, right? I think there's certain things that apply to only citizens. But I
Well-
think your rights, like when you get read your rights when you get arrested, I think that applies to everybody.
Like the right to
That's there.
vote and that kind of stuff, yes.
Yeah, our
No.
laws on voting are pretty restricted to U.S. citizens, but all the rest of the rights, as far as our we call the 10 Bill of Rights, apply to everyone who is in the U.S. territories, land or water. Well, like I say, Lon, if they came in unlawfully, yes, they've already broken the rules of our immigration system. And like I say, and since they've been here and they're going through the process to become citizens or gain a visa, that is the process that we ask them to do. Like I try to tell folks, if you have never read the Constitution, please don't try to misquote it, because all it does is it muddies the water.
They got an American flag. It's upside down. It's there.
Yeah, yeah. Like I say,
Well, that's a symbol.
like I said, I saw several American flags, Mexico flags, Nicaraguan flags. I think I even saw a Venezuelan flag in front of the courthouse there, in Alameda, in downtown LA. But like I said, you're always going to have agitators, just like I seen new graffiti getting thrown up. This weekend, they also got two big entertainment events in downtown LA, which is making traffic horrible. One of my sons is down there on
Interesting,
one of those
Tim.
entertainment events. So it's just a big old
What's up,
mess.
Bob Casey? How's it going?
You know?
Hey, Bob.
Hey,
Tim.
Bob.
Yeah, Bob Casey's in the chat.
And he didn't laugh. There's nothing wrong with it. We can't have a civilized debate, but I always tell people we can't debate if we don't understand what the facts are. If we're just making assumptions of what we feel and what we think we know, that's part of the problem.
I figured what to trigger.
Funny.
Nah.
That's
Tim.
pretty good.
No, I encourage everyone to read the Constitution, Alon. I don't say this out of my. I always tell people never take what I say off the top of my head as gospel. I ask you to go read the Constitution, so you will know for yourself what it actually says and what it doesn't say.
Well, and then there's a lot of stuff in the Constitution where the Supreme Court has like affirmed this is what it means.
Yeah,
If people are
And that's-
having issues trying to interpret it.
right, and that's why we were talking about similar type topic a couple weeks ago, and I think it was either Brenda or somebody, made a comment about being a living document. I say yes, this is the document that we live by until the court changes it, or we vote on something that changes it. And this is like what Bob was saying. If someone is here unlawfully, we have the legal right to detain them while they're going through their due process. All this thing about people upset, well, they just let them go. I said that's a decision because of overcrowding of our jail system across the nation. Okay, we
All
can
right, guys, I'm gonna
legally,
bounce off. I'll see y'all in the morning.
all right, TJ,
Well,
we can legally detain someone while they're going through the due process. And that's why I said it down earlier, excuse me, I thought, isn't it kind of odd, all of a sudden, the guy they said they couldn't bring back from El Salvador to prison is now back in the United States, facing charges of something else that he wasn't charged on before. What other? California flag, Mexican flag, let me see the flag. I see a Venezuelan flag. I see a Honduras flag. Oh man, we're almost going to have the United Nations out here pretty soon.
Up to you.
Like I said, like I always say,
Okay.
it's about the method. As long as you abide by our rule of law in our country. Now, if we want to change our rule of law, we want to change our constitution, more than happy. You know, like I told a buddy of mine, what is happening down the border is what I said should happen over 8 years ago. You send the military down there, you send our reservists down there to maintain it. This is part of their training. So you're always going to have members rotating in and out, and our borders stay secure. I said all this hyperbole about trying to build walls and all that kind of nonsense is a waste of time and money. Make it a militarized zone. Let the military patrol our border like majority of other nations on this planet do. I tell my one buddy, he said he remember going on his honeymoon over in Eastern Europe, and he said each time they crossed the border to another country, they would have armed individuals get on the bus and explain to them in about 4 different languages the do's and don'ts. And these guys are all armed with submachine guns. And I said that's a eye-opener deterrent right there. That you don't want to be trying to cross the border illegally, going into Yugoslavia or North Korea or other places, because you might run into one of these individuals.
Mhm. JP, your mic's muted still.
You're muted.
Well, Al, like I say, the Constitution, by some people's interpretation, is a living document. Some people feel like it is what it is, and we have to just bend what we do today to what the Constitution was written about over 250 years ago. That's it. That's
Yep.
why we have. That's why we have the system we have.
You have to click on the picture. That's it. Click on the
Until it
picture.
gets changed by vote.
You got it.
Changed by
Hello.
judicial. Because there's been constitutional things that have been changed by the Supreme Court back and forth.
Mhm.
Where one court at one time thought it meant this, and then years later, another group of judges decided it didn't mean that. Okay, we can reverse that decision.
Go on then. Start off with, what does the JB stand for?
Hello. How's my audio? First off,
Yes,
That's
we can
fine.
hear
Just
you.
fine.
Yeah, you're fine.
thank you. Hello, everyone.
Good evening.
I'm just trying to get my bearings straight here. So, audio's good, video's good.
Yep. Yep. Both are good.
All right. So, number one for me, I don't know if this was directed at me, but what do I stand for is illegal immigrant to me means
No, it was what does the JB stand for, as in your name?
Jason Beliveau. So J as in Jason, B as in
Right.
Beliveau. So JB rants. I rant a lot.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
That's all
So
right. You're
hello,
not the only
Jason.
one that rants a lot around here.
Yeah. Hello, Jason.
that's the genesis of my name. That's why I
Okay,
exist
then.
on the internet. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so cheers to everyone. Nice beer here.
Cheers.
Mm-hmm.
No, but for me, in terms of the general topic of the conversation, which I think sprouts the rest of the conversation is an illegal immigrant to me is someone who is an illegal immigrant, which means they do not belong in, they've immigrated to a, emigrated, some would say, to a country, and they don't deserve to be in that country because they illegally went into that country. Does that make any simple sense, or no?
Yeah, it's a point.
That's the effect.
Well, I would say your statement is not the source of the argument. The
Okay.
source of the argument is that what, even though we all agree they are illegal immigrants, they're here unlawfully, not go through the regular process or our process to
process.
become due process to enter the country. People are saying they do not deserve the rights under our Constitution since they are here already.
So that obviously, I think, includes children of illegal immigrants, those who came here unwillingly by their parents, right?
That would fall under that same scenario, yes.
So if I went to Japan and Japan said, well, you didn't come here with a visa, you didn't come here, or Korea or Iran or Russia or Sudan or any Brazil or any country. If I walked in there and they said, hey, so do you have a passport? And I said, no, I'm going to be detained, correct? Why are you in our country?
Some countries have that status. Like I say, the problem we have here in America, people think our constitutional rights
Good point,
apply
Don.
everywhere else around the globe. They don't.
Exactly.
They
So
don't.
I asked the exact same question. If I walked into Croatia or Sudan or South Africa or Canada or anywhere, and I happened to end up in that country because I came in there without a passport, without applying for citizenship in that country, and I didn't even want to, even if I was just traveling, right? Would I be detained and questioned?
Most likely.
In the majority of countries, yeah. In
Okay.
some, you might get shot.
Oh,
Some you might be in
even
prison.
better. Okay. All right. Hold up 1 second. So if that's the case, how is that different than someone coming into the United States of America, just crossing the border illegally and getting found out? Why would I not expect to be detained as a potential illegal alien? And if I was,
I've got to head out. So see you guys another time.
All right,
I'll
Don.
see you later, Dominic.
I'm doing this slow on purpose, by the way. I'm doing this very slow on purpose. So if I went and just made my merry way into that country, would I not expect to be detained by border customs, the people that were charged with the very task of who's coming in and who's coming out? And if I was who's coming in and didn't have any papers, you're going to be held by those people, right?
No one's arguing your point at this point. I wish you would speed it up a little bit and get to what you're trying to say.
I've already said everything I've needed to say.
Okay, so you're done?
Yeah, but what
I'm
was
asking, is you done?
Yes, I'm done.
Okay. Are you familiar with the Amistad case?
No.
Okay, the Amistad case is a classic case on immigration. The Amistad is a ship that carried African slaves off the coast of Cuba.
Oh God, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
This is the basis of our immigration laws. Okay.
Sure.
Then listen to. I'll give you the back of the story.
No, because
they're being
it always
transported.
went.
Okay, I let you talk without an interruption, did I? Did I finish what I got to say?
Please.
Thank you very much. Now, they were being taken from one end of the Cuban island and were supposed to be delivered to the other end. During that process, the slaves took the crew, killed most of them, kept about 2 alive.
Right.
They were hoping that the crew was going to take them back to Africa. The crew duped them and sailed into U.S. coastal waters, where the ship was taken seized. The African slaves, along with the rest of the crew, were all taken into custody. All right. At this point, it was at that point then was the argument of what rights are afforded to these slaves, because they were the property of the country of Portugal.
Right.
Actually, but the United States had already outlawed slavery when this occurred. Slavery was illegal in the United States. So we were not going to return them to Portugal as property because they had, or not, the United States didn't recognize slavery any longer.
Oh boy.
No, don't take it out of context. I'm talking about slavery. I'm taking it out of context. This is about immigration. So now this will covers every bit that people bring up. You have a group of people who were found in U.S. territorial waters, who had committed a crime on international seas of murder, and now they've been discovered here in America. The crimes have been found out because the bodies were still on the ship, and now we got to figure out what is their legal status. Our forefathers at the time deemed that they had constitutional rights here in America. And by that means they could not be returned back to the Portugal, where they actually were considered property of. And some stayed here for 10 years. Others were sent back to Africa immediately, but the rest of them did eventually go on back to Africa and will return to their home country.
Mm-hmm.
That case was part of the basis on how our immigration laws were developed. This was back in 1869 or maybe in 79 when this happened. Okay. So that's what I'm saying about how our immigration laws are formed now. Our Constitution adopted that methodology, adopted that decision at that time. Now I gotta tell everybody, until we change that through the court system, our Supreme Court, or our legislation decides to adopt new laws, these are how we continue to go forward by past experiences and activity. So now, I'm not saying anything wrong.
I love when these things happen. So, sir, so the laws that you're saying apply exactly the same to people who willingly just say, I'm going to cross into the United States illegally, bring my children, seek asylum, and those laws are the same thing as abandoned, essentially African slaves that were brought here forcefully. They're the same thing. Is that what you're saying?
You missed the whole premise of the story.
I would say I will say, Dre, there is a difference in the fact that in the Amistad case,
they're two mutually exclusive.
Hold on. I know you guys have talked.
Let the man talk, please. Go ahead, Don.
The Amistad case, we were talking about victims of the crime, whereas currently we're talking about people who are the perpetrators of the crime. Now, if you do not send them back across the border, that's the same as saying a bank robber can steal money from a bank and he gets to keep it until he's done with his defense.
That all depends.
Until he goes through until he gets all his due process, let him keep the money until he's done with the due process. No, they should be put back across the border and let them go through their due process.
Why don't we just
from their
call
home
the definition
country
of illegal immigration literally what it is? Willful, illegal immigration versus what this gentleman is trying to straw man me on.
I'm not trying to stop me. I'm just trying to give
No,
you the
he's talking.
historical fact.
He's talking about the actual constitutional.
And he's using it as a
Changes.
straw man argument against me.
No,
No,
no.
Really?
He's
Just stating a
he's
fact.
talking about how our immigration laws are set and how they're interpreted now. Now, we may disagree about how those laws are interpreted or whether they should be interpreted that way. But he's just talking about how those laws, how they're being interpreted now and where they came from.
and now we'll continue on. Is that even during the great European migration, during the late 1800s, early 1900s, where you had a lot of Eastern Europeans and
here's
Western
what you guys
Europeans.
do, though. Here's what you guys do.
Who's we got?
You keep
We got.
no, sir. Respectfully, you keep saying European migration, I'm talking about specifically. I'm talking about illegal immigration into the United States, which is crossing the border without a visa or passport or papers. Straight up.
Well, when when the European immigrants came over, many of them did not have paperwork. That's what Ellis Island was set up for, was to develop, to put them through the process and get the paperwork done. Yes, we are. You'd think we'd be more efficient at it.
Upon historical events.
And you may disagree with how we're applying things, but still, those immigrants that came over were put through a process, and we can disagree about the process. And that's why I'm talking to Dre about,
All right,
due process means different things. Due process means different things.
I'm about to leave, so I want to stay, but I'm about to leave unless we can agree on this number one thing. Countries have borders, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
And people who travel in between countries should go through at least a legal process, I want to say this clearly so no one misconstrues my words. Is it proper for me to say that people who travel in between countries, it's that country's prerogative to understand and know and vet who comes into those countries and who leaves and also who leaves those countries, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
in fact, they have the right to say no. You can't come into.
In fact, you're
even if you've done nothing wrong.
Yeah, you're assuming
wrong, but the doing wrong is when you cross into a country illegally. That's a crime.
Now this is a lot of fun because Dre and I disagree.
Yes or no?
I'm asking a question. What is the statute of that crime? Tell me what the federal code for that crime is.
Here we go into the.
No, I'm asking a question. You want to talk facts? Let's talk facts. What is the federal statute for illegally crossing the border?
Crime, where's it written down that it's a crime?
Thank you. Where is the federal statute crime?
It is. You can. There is a.
Yeah,
Tom Dre, if we can't name it, it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. And
and also, I'm on a live YouTube show. I don't have thousands of fucking things in my.
No. It's U.S. Border Code 1325, which deals with improper entries by aliens.
Now, this is kind of fun
because criminalizes various actions related to unauthorized entry.
This is kind of fun because Dre and I disagree on this, but in a different way. The problem is due process carries different rules for whatever law is broken. You get due process for the crime you commit. You get due process. But the way it's been interpreted now, people are saying, oh, due process means they get to stay in the United States while they go through the process. I'm not sure that really counts. I don't think that's true. So they get to go back to their country of origin and go through their due process, which is to fill out the paperwork correctly.
Like the stay in Mexico policy that was enforced.
Exactly.
Trump's first area.
Right.
Exactly. I think Dre agrees with that if we enforce our borders and they want to immigrate, they go through the process.
I
Right.
do think
Correct.
that there is
But the
an
question
exemption
happens
to that,
is the
though.
people who were allowed in that are in our country now and actually on the soil from previous administrations, how whether you agree or not, there has to be a way to do this without rounding up people who actually do have a right to be here.
I can take it even simpler. Not, and you're helping me, and I really appreciate this, sir. But let's say back in the day, remember when people used to go to movies, into the movie theater, and
Movie
I
theater.
remember,
What are those?
yeah, exactly. What the fuck are those, right?
Yeah.
So if I was caught, which I was, I think once, with some friends sneaking into a movie, and they go, "Where's your ticket?" And you go, "I don't have one. We snuck in. You know, I'm in 7th grade. Oh shit." What happens? You get thrown out. How is that any different?
Well, now you're talking about a private property issue for
The United
trespassing.
States is a corporation. You know that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And-
So
and
a
according-
private corporation, a private company.
Mhm.
Okay, go.
Continue. I was going to let you continue. Got anything else?
Because you just said that was a private business, and I'm saying the United States is a private business. So why are we not allowed to throw the people out who didn't purchase a ticket to be here?
Okay, just like a private business, the United States has a process and how they deal with people who enter illegally. Am I right or wrong? We have a process to deal with people who enter our country unlawfully.
Well, that's
I believe-
the crux
I believe
of
in law.
the issue here is that the people that we have a disagreement about what that process should be.
That's
Well,
all.
I'm not
Correct.
talking about what should be. We're talking about what it actually is.
Exactly,
have
and
a
that is
process
the that is
that's
the difficulty.
And what about
we
those
have an
people
established process
that come to the country
But-
to apply for asylum, and if they are returned to their country, they're most likely going to be executed?
Well, in
So
some
they,
cases, Mark.
That's not our problem, though. Unfortunately, that's
it
not
kind
our
of
problem.
is. It kind of is, because once they've said they're asking for asylum, you have to grant that up to a point.
No, that's if the
I'm not
country
talking about asylum seekers. No. I'm not talking about asylum seekers. Most of these
But
people,
they have come into your country without paperwork, without a passport, without coming in the correct way. What's
Yeah.
the difference between an immigrant and an asylum seeker?
An
I
asylum
have
seeker.
actually, I actually have no
there-
idea. To
there-
be honest, I have
there
no
is-
idea.
There is international law. If you are seeking asylum, you're supposed to stop at the first safe country.
Right.
And,
Which they went through
apply
about
for asylum
6.
there.
Correct.
Most of these immigrants who are seeking asylum have gone through several
No, they have not.
safe countries.
No.
Yeah, they have.
No, that's
Mexico is a
not
safe
true.
country. If they've come across the Mexico border, they're in Mexico, which is a safe country.
Yeah, if they're not on the list of countries that you seek asylum from, there's a specific
I
list.
mean, the
that they
asylum
go by.
seekers in the UK have come across half of Europe before they've reached the UK.
Exactly. And according to international law, if you are an asylum seeker, you're supposed to stop in the first safe country.
And there's
You're
a
not
list.
supposed to.
And like I
Yeah.
said, there's a list that the international community goes by of countries that are considered
So-
asylum.
So that's the difference, Mark, between the people coming across the border and then saying they're seeking asylum versus actual asylum seekers. If there is a process, they should follow the process. They haven't followed the process. That's why Remain in Mexico was
Worked.
a just
Mostly
way of
it worked.
handling it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like look at the border now. They claim that they needed all this legislation to fix the border. No, they didn't. They just need to enforce the current laws.
Well, like I say, it's the method. Like I said, over 8 to 10 years ago, I was talking to a buddy of mine, and I suggested, why don't we use the method that we're using now? But like I said, instead of all
big-
this not all this
a lot of
nonsense and
people have
hyperbole
said-
about building a wall,
Yeah.
wall. I said,
A lot
put the
of-
military down there.
Well, a lot of people have said that we should put military down there. but that was opposed.
Well, where are they at now?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and they're at a
And
90.
okay, but it's like we can't militarize. We can't do that. That's
Yes, we can.
that's all we're saying. We can't do that, and so it's opposed. So what was the next thing? Okay, we'll build a wall. Okay, well we'll do this, and everything is said no, 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 no. We have to leave those borders wide open. Is really the in argument. So
yeah, and I said it for time, because you go back to various administrations over the last 50 years, where our administrations have allowed more Vietnamese that are probably outside of Vietnam into the United States. We brought in Salvadorians who come across Southern California and parts of Arizona through the Reagan administration, and they were given free-for-all visas.
Now, a lot of Vietnamese, I mean, they came over and they were given entrance into the U.S., but they did apply. It wasn't like they were sneaking. Now, we did have the Cambodian boat people.
Well, like I say, Cambodians, Vietnamese, but they didn't apply. They were granted after the fact.
But I was gonna say, the Cambodians, they have a legitimate asylum request.
Watch your tongue. Watch your tongue now. They had a legitimate one.
They had a legitimate asylum request.
Is that the same level as the South African people had legitimate request?
Yeah, but the South African people had killed people on the boat. They don't know how to do that.
I'm just saying, when you talk about these things, as I say, this is some of the arguments people have. In the days, same thing. We let the Vietnamese come here because of their country from which fell. South Vietnamese. Cambodians came because of the overburdening rule of the Khmer Rouge. They were basically bringing that country back to the Stone Age. They were killing off all the professionals, educators. Everybody was getting killed.
Okay. May I respectfully?
Go ahead, sir.
Because this always goes in this direction. And I just want to say, this is the most respectful, calm, cool, and collected panel of this topic, immigration, that I have ever been on. And I just want to say that, and I give so much accolades, so high fives to everyone. You know what I mean?
Well, just to qualify ourselves, you caught us on a Sunday.
No,
so we're all trying to. We're trying to behave.
Good.
I don't care what day of the week it is.
Catch us in the middle of the week, and you'll see how we really act.
Yeah,
I'm not trying.
I don't care. I think it's just because you're here, because usually me and Dre will go at more vicious.
No one needs to qualify to me anything, whatever. Look at this. I got some fucking tomato plants right here. You know what I mean? Like, I'm all right. But
that works.
But at the end of the day, illegal, just the term, okay? Just the frickin' term. Illegal immigration, does that statement mean anything to everyone? You know what I mean? Does that exist?
Well, this is the question I have to present to a lot of people.
What's the matter with you?
Strong opinions on this. I asked them, at what part of your life directly has immigration been impacted? Have you lost your job due to illegal immigrant taking your job? Have you lost your home because illegal immigrant took your home?
That's beside the point.
No, I'm just, but people have strong opinions, and this is where their argument comes from. They say, "Oh, they're taking all the jobs. Oh, they're taking all the housing. Oh, they're taking
no.
this."
I'm not saying any of that. I'm talking about the base issue, which is, can I just walk into a country?
No.
Without legally being a part of that country and be a part of that country. Am I allowed to do that?
No.
Well, you do it.
In most countries on this planet, you cannot just do that. Now,
So,
like I say, we
you're-
can
so
paint
in-
a
so
paint a
respectfully-
scenario that if you're a 2-year-old child and your
Right.
parents take you with
Okay.
you,
All right. So emotional. So
Okay.
2-year-old child or a poor starving wife or any of that.
Mhm.
Am I allowed to walk into North Korea or South Africa or Britain or Canada? Am I allowed to just walk in there and go, yeah, I'm here?
Yeah, you're allowed to do that in the UK because we've got a reciprocal agreement.
Did you
Got an
say a
answer?
reciprocal agreement?
Well, yeah, you can come on holiday over here and we can go on holiday over there. There's no problems with that.
Okay, so the conversation's over. Everyone can just go wherever they
no,
want,
Mark,
whenever they
there's
want.
Mark, there's a difference between going on holiday
Yeah,
with your visa
no.
and passport.
Come on, Don, you know me better than that.
I know.
Well, I think Mark's saying that because of and this goes back to historical thing, because of the old British Empire and how it stretched across most of the globe at one point. They have had long-term agreements with these countries to allow citizens to trans back and forth, and they were just as welcoming and back and
They're
forth.
not citizens, though.
I'm just saying these citizens. I'm not saying they have citizen status. I just use it instead of saying people or what people. I'm just using a generic term.
No, I agree.
Good.
We cannot stay in America for longer than 6 months without a green card.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know.
And Mark, if you need me to marry you so you can stay here longer, I mean, we can. We'll have to talk over with my wife, but we'll make
work
something
it out.
happen.
I'm in love with this guy. He's a good debater, I'll tell you that.
Oh,
I'm not going to marry him, but I'll be friends with him.
well, like I can say this. My whole thing is just go
Let it
by
out.
the rules and regulations that we have here in our country. Process these people, send them to wherever you want to send them to, back where they came from. Send them to some small island in the South Pacific. I could care less. But we can't sit here and pick and choose what rules that we're going to apply on every different group of people.
Absolutely, we can.
You have to be
Absolutely,
consistent.
we can pick and choose because
that's
it's
always
Came down fast.
You can't pick and choose. You have to be universal. Everybody gets due process. That's part of our Constitution. Everybody gets due process.
But due process is not the same for everybody.
due process.
Due process is not the same for every crime. Sending them back across the border and letting them apply from across the border could be the due process. If
they very well can be if you catch them right there at that crossing point.
Why? Why does it have to be catching right there?
That's the part of our rule. You catch them at the border.
What if you catch it? What if you catch them 2 days later, 100 miles in?
With 2 kids in tow, by the way.
What if it's 300 miles in and it's the same day? What if they really hauled ass?
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, it doesn't matter how far in the country or how long. The status is still the same.
This, Don, why they bring old boy back to Maryland for? Why?
Why?
For additional charges.
Additional charges. He was a human trafficker.
They knew about this before he got sent out the first time.
Yeah,
right. They weren't going to worry about it. They were just getting rid of him.
That he come back.
Now they're going to bring him back.
Okay. Now you guys say you're bringing him back for what purpose?
To charge him and then send him back over again after he's charged.
And what is that purpose?
What are you saying? Due process?
You go. Due process.
He had due process. He's already been twice. He's been twice. Judges have said he was illegal. And he was
right.
Dre.
Right. I'm not arguing any of those things.
Dre,
my
wrong.
thing is why you bring somebody back who you already said you could not bring back and would not bring back, and then you bring them back.
Dre, I have an answer for you.
I know it's politics.
No, he's being brought back over and he's being charged with something other than illegal immigration. He's being charged with the crime of human trafficking, which is a completely different thing. They didn't bring him back over to give him due process on his illegal immigration status. They brought him back over to charge him for human trafficking.
So he gets his due process
for human trafficking.
Crime.
Human trafficking.
Due process for human trafficking is different than due process for crossing the border illegally.
What happens if he's found not guilty?
Then they go ahead and ship him off because he's still illegal.
Surely
So you bring
surely
them back
he is.
for due process for a crime that you already had him out of the country,
No.
that you
We're
stated
bringing
you
back-
were not going to bring them back. Did
But
the
it's not,
president
it's for a
and the
different crime,
That
for a
wasn't
different
what they
crime,
put him
for
out the
a
country
different
for.
crime, for a
Okay.
different crime.
Surely, if he
let's
was
go back and
found
agree
to
on
be
something.
For a
illegal,
different
then
crime,
he would
Drake,
be
due
tried in his
process
own
is
country.
different depending on the crime. We've
Okay,
already agreed
I'm
with
just
that.
gonna say, I'm just going back to what was actually
about
said
the-
by the president of the United States and the Department of Justice. They said
Okay,
they were not bringing this gentleman back. He is out of the country and shall not never return to U.S. soil. That
okay,
is the exact verbiage, that exact language that was
okay, and they were wrong, so,
Hey, thank you.
but you're wrong too. They didn't
No,
bring
I'm
him
not
back
wrong.
because of,
Because
they
like I
didn't
say,
bring him
he
back
was
because of illegal
okay.
immigration, they brought him back because of human trafficking. Different
But
crime,
like I say, how come it
different
wasn't?
crime.
Okay, how
It's a
come he
different
wasn't
crime,
processed?
different due process, right?
My thing is this: how come he wasn't processed when the crime occurred? 'Cause he was
Donald,
stopped. He was stopped. There's the videotape of the traffic stop is out there.
What
He was stopped.
we're
Come on.
glossing over the initial offense, which is literally coming into another country illegally, right?
yeah,
No
if
problem.
he wasn't allowed to be in your country in the first place, and the charges of human trafficking, surely those charges should be put in his own country and not in yours.
Depends on where the crime depends on where the crime was committed. If I go to Singapore and commit a crime, even though I'm not a citizen of Singapore, I will be tried in Singapore where the crime was
Don't you
committed.
think though that the real issue here is our judiciary system is screwed up?
Yeah.
I don't know, Paul. I will say you were wrong about David, though.
I understand that. And I owe him an apology. But the point being is that our judiciary system has gotten so screwed up with one judge doing one thing and another judge doing another thing and another judge. And it's
Well, that's why you need to
That's
Supreme
what
Court.
we have. That's part of being due process. We have appeals court and everything else that you can go through the whole system until you finally reach the Supreme Court. If it goes that far, and you have the money to go that far,
that Dre,
go from there.
that
Yes.
I would say I would just ask you stop calling it due process because due process changed. You're talking about that's our judicial process.
Judicial process. Okay.
But when you say due process, you are combining a million different things into one blanket thing, and that's a lot of the problem. People think that the due process for illegal immigrations is to go through the judicial process, and that's not the same thing.
No, I know there's a separate process.
And when you call
for
everything due
immigration,
process,
just like there's a process
right.
for criminal activity. But like I said, there is a process that we all afford that right, and we can take it as far as we can go until either your money runs out or you run into the Supreme Court. Either one. And most time the money runs out.
What happens at the end, respectfully, what happens at the end of the day in terms of people who commit crimes and this and that, blah, blah, blah. The initial crime committed was breaking into the country illegally. That's the base crime. Does that make any sense to anyone?
No, because it's actually not a crime. It's a status. Justin gave you a federal statute. I just looked it up. It is under the State Department status. It is not a federal offense.
So it's not a federal offense to break into a country illegally.
It's not a criminal federal offense. It is a status. Not a, because when you have a federal offense, a crime, there is a part of that crime which you have a punishment.
Okay.
What is
I
the
will get ready
punishment?
to
How
do
many
budget.
years in jail do you serve for being an illegal immigrant?
That cute.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I went ahead of time on it.
You guys are
U.S.
rich.
code ahead of time.
You've got to be, you're entitled to be deported, but you can't be put in jail for it.
There you go.
Good. Whoa. There we just got the answer.
Like I say, it's not a crime. You be deported back to a country.
Boom.
A crime has a punishment. Am I
Well,
incorrect in stating that?
Well, your
And all my-
punishment would be going back. I guess.
In my degree in criminal justice in over 20 years in law enforcement that a crime also has a punishment?
Apart from anything, if you put them in jail, you're actually keeping them in your country
Thank you
instead of
very
throwing
much.
them out.
Exactly as well. I agree with this guy
Thank you
too.
very much. So I can say, when you say it's a crime, it's not a crime, it's a status under the State Department.
So
Like I
therefore,
said, your status is illegal in our country. So we process you back to where you came from.
so
If
do the
you
laws,
actually commit a crime,
so
you
do
actually
the
committed
laws of a
crime.
country protect
Illegal
people
is
who are not
probably
even supposed to be here? Is that what I'm
illegal
understanding?
is
In our
probably
Constitution, it states that any person who is in the territories of the United States, in the waterways or on soil, have certain constitutional rights.
I think illegal is probably being used in the wrong context in this case. It's not really illegal, it's being here without permission rather than illegal. Illegal is taken in the wrong context, I think, there.
So if I get picked up for a bag of heroin, let's say, can I reconstruct that charge as saying it's
No, because that is a criminal offence.
okay, but
And therefore
crossing
it is illegal.
but
Coming
crossing
into the
another
country without the right paperwork is not an offence, and therefore
well,
it's not
I just didn't
actually
have the right
illegal.
paperwork for my heroin.
You're not likely to get the right paperwork for your heroin either.
And
So it
he's
says the
just
fifth,
undocumented. He's only an
Yeah, it's
undocumented heroin
undocumented
user.
heroin.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Justin.
it says the Fifth and 14th Amendments specifically state the due process applies to any person within the United States, regardless of their immigration status.
Wow.
Right, but
Imagine
what
that.
is the due process?
But
Don't
Go
leave.
ahead, Justin.
go
Oh,
ahead,
no,
Justin.
no, no.
Really, this is a really good
Hold on, I was
conversation. I don't want anyone to leave this shit.
Hey, JB, just
reading
slow
some
down.
more on
Justin
there.
only reads at a 5th grade level.
It's
So
all
slow
Shut
right
up.
for you saying that, Jason. It's not 1:15 in the morning in where you are.
Give him
Okay,
too much
Justin,
credit,
you-
Dre.
I give him too much credit. 5th grade's too high.
Okay, so while due process protections apply to everyone, there can be exceptions and limitations depending on the circumstances and the specific laws involved. For example, the expedited removal process for certain individuals who have been in the country for a short period can be expedited.
I'm saying due process differs depending.
Yep.
But there is a process.
Here's a
Well,
process.
busted in my
Right.
door, I'll give you some due process.
There
And
you
putting
go.
somebody on a plane and putting them back in the country that they came from is a process
How about this for a process?
that they are due.
You broke into the country illegally. You're being deported out. How's that for due process?
Like I say, nobody in this panel wrote the Constitution. None of us sit in a judgeship overseeing what is
Nobody wrote the
constitutionality.
Constitution. No single
Like I said-
person wrote the Constitution.
Well, like I said, no one in this panel was part of that group. None of us sit in judicial positions to interpret or to translate what the Constitution meant. or what it
Actually, I
means.
helped write the Constitution. I am 245 years old.
God bless you, then. But,
He's the one
But-
claiming Social Security.
That, that's a whole other fucking.
Yeah.
Do you guys care if I smoke some weed?
Well, that's
And it
you're
is
at
a
home, partner.
You
Now, I'm
do.
YouTube
gonna
don't
address Lon.
care.
Okay, Lon. Yeah, that is the
You won't be
US
the
code.
first.
But does it state as it being a criminal offense with an actual punishment?
It's a criminal offense to break into another country.
No, it's not a criminal offense.
No, it's not.
But it's hard to compare.
It's a legal status.
Yeah, but it's hard to compare to say, well, what if you walked into this country, because their laws could be completely different. Like Switzerland, I think, just passed a law now. They can shoot people that are trying to cross the border. They don't even have to give them a warning shot. They just
That I do
right
not
down.
agree with. That I do not agree with at all.
See, that's what I'm saying. Every country has their own set of rules and regulations and constitutions or whatever you want to call it in that country. But in America, Constitution is our bread and,
And
butter
that's what the
rule.
Supreme Court's been, they've been at it for the last couple of months, going through all kinds of shit, trying to figure out what's what.
I think
How
the
the hell
word
are
you're
the,
looking,
So,
the
how the
term
hell
you're
are the
looking for.
Swiss going to shoot anybody? All their army's got is knives.
I'm saying that.
fucking throw a
This
spoon
is
in
a
your eye.
great
That's
group.
what they'll do.
I can tell you, this is a great group. At least we can have a conversation here.
Well, we all been around a while. Been around each other for a while.
Yeah, we're
You know,
kind of used to each other.
I always, like I said, me and Don can be on opposite side, but I do appreciate Don's Midwestern education. He's also a movie buff.
Yeah, and I'm a
Television.
huge fan of I'm a huge fan of Dre's West Coast diseducation.
Or misinformation.
Call it what you want to.
Oh, you motherfuckers are fun.
No, I am jealous of. He lives in a beautiful state. If it wasn't for all the people.
I'll read the chat, Dre.
Yeah, I am. I believe in live quick now.
All the earthquakes, all the fires.
No, hey, like I said, I just got through earlier. Tornado warning going off here. We have tornadoes come through here.
Lon has looked up where it says it's a misdemeanor offense. Misdemeanor offense only gives you 6 months in county jail for breaking USC code 1325.
Where's
second
the
offense
tornado?
gives you 2 years.
What's that?
Where's the tornado warning, by the way?
Oh, that's
Southwest
gone.
Missouri.
That's their usually midday alarm clock.
Yep, we had a
Holy
cell
shit.
come through here earlier. Pretty intense cell come through. It wasn't a lot of hail. We had a few little pieces of looked like the ice that you get from Sonic.
Still no touchdowns or anything.
Sonic reference there.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
and
And you're in Boston, aren't you, JP?
Yes.
Yeah. We don't like people from Boston. They threw all our tea in the water.
Well, I'm a Bostonian who's not a Bostonian. I'm much more cerebral than most people around here.
well, Mark, to tell the truth, throwing your tea into the harbor is actually the way you make proper tea.
Well, no, you have to microwave it first, apparently.
Yeah, and you're supposed to add the milk first.
Nah, first of all, I don't like tea, and second of all, I try not to microwave anything.
Yeah, you're in the wrong panel here, then. Folks who you talking about getting ugly? That the tea debate will get you get you kicked off of here real quick.
Is that like the Bubba Sparks song? It's getting ugly up in here, here.
We got folks down in Louisiana who microwave their tea, and folks from England who think that is sacrilegious.
Hey, Dre, me and Joe were talking about trying to air fry some tea.
Yeah, see, look at you.
Air fry some tea.
I went out earlier and cut some mint up and steeped it and added it to a big thermos full of ice and made myself a little mint tea while I was mowing the lawn. Mint iced tea. Good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But no tea, so I guess it would be a
Well, at least down here we know how to perfect gumbo.
An infusion rather than tea.
an infusion, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys know how to do gumbo pretty good. I mean,
We invented it.
Sorry.
I don't know if you guys invented it. You might have. I just know at least one person up here in Missouri does it right.
Yeah, I know at least one.
I mean, if we're talking about the state overall, I would say yes, Louisiana does gumbo better than Missouri. But if we're talking about two different people, I would say I do gumbo better than you because I actually make my roux.
Did you say you actually make your roux?
Yeah, Joe buys his roux in a jar.
No, I buy it in a box. It's easier.
Carrots, celery, onion in the
No,
bottom
that's
of
your
the pan.
Trinity. That's
No,
your
that's
Trinity.
No, I know.
Trinity.
No,
The
that
the roux
that's
the roux
actually.
would be the flour
Gravy.
in your the roux
Well,
would
you
be
didn't.
your flour and oil.
You didn't let me finish because I was going to correct you and say that the Trinity is what? It has
Celery, onion, and pepper.
green bell pepper in it, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
Right.
Now, Joe, when you are putting your Trinity in, do you strip your leaves off of your celery, or do you throw the leaves in too?
I said that this morning, Dusty. That's the only tea
I
I
buy it
ever did.
already chopped up in a jar.
Oh my God, Joe!
You gotta
Actually,
leave.
it's in a Tupperware type of container. It's a Cajun company that does it for you, so you don't have to waste your time.
Oh my God, Joe! Yeah.
And
Okay.
where do
So
you get
I
where do you get your
I'm gonna come
okra
down and
from?
say I. Mhm.
Those little leaves on the celery are delicious. I don't care what anyone says, and they're
Yeah.
called fron, by the way, fronds,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
and they're delicious.
Yep. Those go right in with my onions and peppers.
That would make it a type of fern.
I say that as an illegal immigrant myself. I say they're delicious. Just kidding.
Is it a
What
member of the fern family?
Was born 2
Try that
miles from
thermostat.
here. I'm just joking.
Well, no, it might have been both since your ohm reading across the element was reading different. But
I love how the guy on the couch is just so cool, calm, and collected. I'm
Yeah.
here freaking out on my phone. I'm like, oh, I gotta
There
keep
you go,
up.
Donald.
I gotta keep up. And he's just chill.
who,
That's
me?
what I buy. It's
Whatever
already
Yeah,
that
cut
is.
up
something about
and put
Donald.
together.
Something about Donald.
What is that, yogurt?
No, that's a Cajun Trinity. Already
Oh,
cut up.
shit. Hell yeah.
That way I
Yeah.
don't have to do it. I just scoop out what I need.
Mix that up with some fucking rice and tuna. I don't even know what I'm saying.
Now, Joe,
Beans
here's the
and
thing.
crawfish.
I go all the way to making my own stock when I make
Oh, yeah.
my gumbo. So maybe I'm a little bit psychopathic.
Oh, he gets stock in a can.
Well, most people do. Or in a box.
Yeah, box. Go.
You know what?
I stopped
I was,
making my own at 60.
you know what?
Yeah,
I was
don't-
surprised. I was
Jason, don't
surprised-
worry about when
Oh,
Joe
go ahead.
comes out with these weird sayings. He's talking to his dogs.
Everyone talks to their dogs. Come on.
Well, we're
Yeah,
concerned
I
when they
know.
start
Mine's
talking
lay on
back.
my couch next to me.
If
I'll go
anyone-
fly a ship or it just went to bed.
If anyone ever has
know.
bless their heart the time to make a proper, for me, I always just say chicken stock. For anyone who has the time to invest in making a real proper chicken stock, I think it's awesome.
Donald.
And it can be reduced down into bouillon too.
Mm-hmm.
That's something Donald would do.
Yeah, portable soup. You can reduce it down into solids, and they used to call it portable soup, and it would be like solid chunks.
No.
You see those in
Jelly.
survival kits.
But I usually keep mine liquid. Definitely roast your bones before you.
Always.
But yeah. I have enough scraps. I'm about ready to make another stock myself right now.
Did
Not
I
like
talk
right
over everyone? I'm
tonight.
sorry. I apologize.
No?
I'm just smoking weed now, so.
Well, it's legal in a lot of states now, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like
Missouri
30.
is recreational.
Mm-hmm.
It's up to like 30 some states, I think now.
Yeah, but
Is it?
a lot of those
Oh.
are medical use only.
Yeah, but it's so easy
There's
to
only
get
a
the fucking
couple
card.
full states that are just like walk in and have fun.
One of them being Nevada, isn't it?
I don't think
Now here we
Missouri,
go again,
Colorado.
okay? Let's say I crossed the border of one of those
One
states,
Mm-hmm.
and I just assume that the weed in my pocket is just as legal as the state and or country that I came from. The answer
Do
is
you
no.
do you know the laws on transporting cigarettes across state lines?
State lines as
Smoking a
well.
cigarette
Yeah.
now too.
The
Okay,
laws are
so
the same thing.
39 states are legal. And 24 are recreational out of the 39.
I've never been on a panel where
quite
I
a few.
actually
Damn near
like
all of them.
I like all you guys. Every single one of you. I like you a lot.
There's only 11
Well, you haven't
states
been here
holding
long
up.
enough.
Yeah, that's
No.
true.
Good answer. Good fucking answer.
You've
I
not
say
met
You change your mind in
catches
time.
midweek. Catches midweek. They're chewing on
Yeah.
Paul about going out flying in storms or something.
Plus, you've not met everybody yet.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, Dre,
Well,
have you
maybe-
gotten to play with your 360 anymore?
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah. I
wait
did a
till
video
Geordie comes one day.
the other day. I took it out for inspection on the bridge, and
Mhm.
got some nice footage. and
Now, are
stuff.
you just using the 360 editor to?
Yes, I'm
that-
using their
see-
editor to put the keyframes and
Well,
then I export it to my other editor.
I'm developing workflow because I'll be taking it on vacation, and I
Mhm.
guarantee I'm going to be filling up my cards, so it'll be offloading onto an SD drive, and then I'll
Mhm.
have to edit on the desktop version of the editor instead of my iPad. But
Yeah.
It will not let me export to the SD drive on my iPad with the camera connected through Wi-Fi or through the Wi-Fi. I have that connected. Say I want to transfer this file over to this SD. No, won't let me do it. I plug in the data port for the SD card and it says, "Oh, you have a data cable connected. You're going to have to disconnect." And it is a weird bug that any data cable connected to my iPad while I'm connected to that camera with Wi-Fi, it'll tell me to disconnect the Wi-Fi.
Have you tried throwing it on the floor and stomping on it?
No. So I can pop the little micro SD out and put it in and transfer files that way. So I'll be doing my backups that way every evening when we get back to our Airbnb, and then I'll just edit later.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, working on a
traveling.
process.
That might be the best way. That might be the best way while you travel.
Yeah.
Because even when you upload to the 360,
Mhm.
the Insta360
The
app,
app.
it doesn't really transfer the file. It
Uh-uh,
sends
it's
you a
working off the
copy of
camera.
it. Yeah, it's working off the camera, and you're editing, and you can then export it to a
You're
drive.
editing on the LRV, the low resolution.
Right.
Video.
You're doing that because, like I said, even when I was all said and done, and I actually opened the camera up, and I saw it on my phone this time, all those clips were still there.
Yep.
So I had to delete it that way. On my,
Oh.
when I had it hooked to the phone.
That's what I've been playing with this week because we're going on vacation. We'll leave next Saturday, and I'm like, okay, getting my gear kind of ready, figuring out, okay, what is my shooting process? Because I don't want to use the 360 for every shot because that's
Right.
not what it's
That's what I
for.
said.
It's a tool to get certain
Mhm.
shots that I can't get with, say, the GoPro or my cell phone. I mean,
Right.
for a lot of shots on a vacation, your cell phone's your best shot because you can get those much tighter shots with your cell phone.
Mhm.
Get close-ups and stuff, get your detail shots.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but
I
I did
figured
a
a way
video
of moving
last.
stuff
Oh,
over and
Sean.
I think it was last Friday. I posted a video while I was out doing a walk around of the bridge project, and I used the
Mhm.
Insta 360
Now, did you publish that as a 360 video, or did you?
Well, that's why I learned too. Once you edit it, you do the keyframes, you want to keep it in single frame when you export it. So if you
Yes.
export it in 360, it gives you that panoramic view. And it just messes with your head then.
Right.
You have no control over it anymore.
Oh no, that's when you and like we talked about before, that's like a stunt type delivery, like a roller coaster type delivery. Like I might do a drive around, say in that Doom buggy, that one I did with the Fusion. If I wanted to show the Carthage Square, I might go in and do a video about the Carthage Square, and I would do details and stuff if I was making a video about the Carthage Square. But just putting the Fusion up there and getting a 360 to let people look around.
Right.
Kind of
Yeah. If you want to
video.
let other people do their looking around, but if you wanted to do like first person view,
right,
and then you want to do a certain little move, you got to keyframe it yourself.
Right. And that's the thing is doing the reframing, you're basically offloading your camera work for later on.
Yeah.
And it would be really good because if you're someplace where you can't have a camera guy, like say you're shooting on a bridge, you're not lowering a camera guy down there to look around. So reframing is good for you there. Or if I was to set it, if you were to set it down and just get a tracking shot of you walking, that's a great use of reframing because you can move the camera and do your camera work later.
Do you guys care if I take this thing like in a gross direction?
Oh, can I just say I'm going to drop off first because it's 1:30 in the morning and I've got to be up tomorrow.
We'll see you in the morning.
Mark.
We love you, man. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So what's the gross direction?
Is he already gone?
Yeah,
No,
he just left.
That was Mark.
I was looking. I've been staring at Mr. Drone's white shirt, and I had the same shirt. And here's the gross thing. And I believe it's actually relevant to the conversation because I get ingrown hairs. I don't know if any guy here has ever gotten ingrown hairs, but they suck when they get infected and stuff. And I would always get one under my left armpit or in my left armpit. And I had the same fucking shirt, and it was my
Stop shaving
favorite
your armpits.
shirt. What's that?
Stop shaving your armpits and you won't get the ingrown hairs.
Yeah, no, I haven't shaved them since wrestling when I was fucking 16. But which I actually had to. I didn't have to shave my armpits, but I did for some reason. But anyway, that's a side issue. But so I have this beautiful white shirt like Drone is wearing, and I had to throw it out last week because my ingrown hair exploded.
I gotta jump
and-
off. I'll catch y'all later.
All right, sorry if I ruined everything.
Yeah, he usually bows out about this time.
Yeah.
And it was such an explosion that the left armpit of it looked like I got shot. And it was really bad, so I had to throw it out. Anyway, that was the big punchline. I didn't mean to drive 2 people away. I'm sorry.
No, what you'll learn if you hang out on drone panels in the future, there are multiple shows that go on during each day.
Oh,
of the
good.
week.
Yeah, me too.
So
I go
some of
live
these
as well.
guys, some of these guys, I know there's another East Coast show coming up here in about a half an hour. That
Very
starts.
nice.
Yep, he'll be on here. And I'm probably gonna go so I can take a break before that.
Right. So
Yeah,
like
I'm
I
gonna
say,
jump
we'll
off
see.
too.
You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
editing.
Everybody's doing a little this and that.
We gotta leave Paul's chair again. He had more people watching the other night when we left than when we were here.
Hey, I can tell you one other thing though. I'm sick of being fucking chemtrailed. I can tell you that.
Okay. Don, I'll let you handle that one.
All right.
Nope, we're good. I'm.
All right, you guys are a very swell bunch, and maybe I will have the pleasure of seeing you guys in the next one. I'm gonna get out of here.
All right.
Okay. Take care.
All right, take care, y'all. Nice to meet you. Peace.
Yeah, Barry, I'm gonna work on a process and get that down. Hopefully, I will have that video process down.
Yeah, it's I want to say goofy, but it is a time consuming because, like I said, if you do big files like long, like 4 or 5 minute long, then it takes that much
put it on
longer
the
to upload.
I put it on the truck the other day, and just drove home. It was a
Right.
14-minute drive,
Oh,
20 gig, 14 minutes. And it was but it allowed me to reframe and clip.
yeah,
And it's like,
you can do all that, but when you want to export it to something else,
if I
that's
want
what's
to
gonna-
export the full amount, but if I want to just trim
Right.
it and get and get specific shots.
Now, see, that's one thing I learned. That does it allow you to? I haven't seen. Maybe I'm missing it in the instructions or the layout where you can, snip different sections out of a long clip.
Yes. Yeah. You set your in and out points on your timeline, and then you can
Okay.
export just that in and out point.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I usually shorten it down that one clip, and then if I need to get something else on that same long one, I
And
just
that's
re-upload it.
another thing about using it is that it allows you to basically do a multi-camera if you wanted to, where you reframe one, export that snippet, rotate it around, and get the reverse
Right.
shot, and
Right.
get that.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's going to be an interesting workflow.
Mhm.
But I think I'm getting it kind of figured out how I'm going to have to do it. And like I said, if I put everything over to the SD card, I'll probably just use the desktop version when I get back from vacation, not try and edit mobile.
Yeah.
If I edit mobile, it might be grabbing a snip just to put up
Mhm.
directly from the mobile to like just that one little clip. But doing any actual editing, I don't think I'll be doing that.
Yeah. I picked up that 9-foot pole, telescoping pole. I
Mhm.
got that. Hopefully, I got some ideals. I just, when
I
you
might be able to get about 9 foot if I use the I've got the little standard
Mhm.
pole, which is about 4 foot,
it's about 3 to 4 foot. Yeah.
4 foot. And then I've
Mhm.
got my monopod, which quarter
Mhm.
20. I can screw on the bottom of
Right.
that and
So
just
just add it to it. Yeah.
add it to it. But okay, well, let's leave Paul's chair, or you can stay here and talk to Paul's chair. But I'm gonna go. And that was kind of interesting. That was
Well,
like the end of good, bad, and the
Tim kept saying
ugly.
he's going to come out and helicopter us.
Do what?
Tim kept saying he's going to helicopter us.
Oh, I didn't read Tim's comments, but
Yeah.
it was like the good, bad, and the ugly. It was like, okay, well, I'm not really disagreeing, but I'm kind of.
Well, I went to his page when I saw his name because it wasn't familiar, and he had a clip about flat Earth. I'm like, oh, this is interesting.
Like for real?
He had a clip talking about explains flat Earth.
Okay.
I'm like, that's why I was wondering where he's gonna go. That's why I said, I'm not gonna get excited. Just gonna hear him out, and I'm gonna tell him what I know. Not that I know everything. And I let everybody know, Lon, I apologize for my incorrect statement.
Oh. Well, Wedge and Big's on, so I'm gonna go.
Is he on already?
Yep.
I thought he'd come on to 6.
He's on right now.
Okay, I could be wrong. Okay, let me slide over here.
Looks like he's been on for
He must have came on at 5. I got it. Yeah, because I used to come on at 4.
Yep.
I come on at 4. He comes on at 5. Yeah.
Yep, he started 40 minutes ago, so.
Yeah. Okay. I'll
Okay.
see
Talk to
y'all
you later.
maybe tomorrow. All right.
Invochiamo lo spirito dell'amore e della pace, perché apra le frontiere, abbatta i muri, risolva l'odio e ci aiuti a vivere da figli dell'unico Padre.
Inspired to hit a new personal record? The new Microsoft 365 with Copilot is here to help.